You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Let us fight to free the world. Let us all unite. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. Let us fight to free the world. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You are men. Let us fight to free the world. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world. A decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world. Let us fight to free the world. Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. Let us fight to free the world. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world. You, the people, have the power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world. Let us fight to free the world. Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite.
And we are live. Welcome everybody. It is Free for All Friday. Friday. For some, Pages in the future. Saturday over there. But for most of us, it's Free for All Friday. So come on in. Have your say. Second week of the 23s. What a time. What a time we're in. I've got some little clips to go over if anybody's not got anything. But, man, what a week. Some of the conversations that we're getting on the comments on YouTube and all are very strange. Blue Marble scientists. We recently watched a video of a debate, but I don't think it was. Conversation. Some new faces teaming up with some old faces. I have made a few comments on a video this morning about somebody saying about maps being flat. And I had to point out that just because maps are flat, it doesn't make the Earth flat. Bit of a weird time that we're in. But
Good afternoon.
good day, Rob.
You said debate. Are you talking about Nathan Oakley?
Well, yeah.
I was actually impressed
You were impressed with what?
with the show that he was on.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty good in my opinion.
I think I don't know. I saw it as a massive setup, switching of the guard. You know, did you look into any of the other people?
No.
No. How do you imagine? Had you ever heard of any of the other people?
Yeah, the guy that Nathan was partnered with. I've heard Patrick Gunnels before.
Have you? He's got a few videos, but they don't seem to be flat Earth related. So strange.
No.
Is he a flat earther?
He's been a flat earther Patreon of Nathan since near the beginning.
Oh, right. Interesting.
I gotta do a power steering pop, but I just wanted to give my
Yeah. Nice.
I might be able to go into it a bit later. I did watch the whole thing.
Yeah, we did as well. Well, I think we watched the whole thing. It was interesting. I don't know if anybody else wants to. That's obviously going to be one of the topics of the conversation tonight.
I did want to give my biggest critique, though.
Go on.
Why are we looking at lights in the sky?
Every time, right? That's what I noticed.
To determine the nature of Earth. Weird.
That debate was on Nathan Oakley's debate show.
Yeah, today, I think instead of going live, Nathan Oakley put a video out of when he went on a different channel to go and talk to. I don't know. I tell you what, it reminded me of when I was watching it. Reminded me of a modern day debate type scenario where people have been mismatched purposely in order to undermine one particular person, right? To single one person out. And I thought that they were specifically singling out Nathan Oakley. Or maybe just Nathan Oakley is that much of an individual that within it, but yeah, I saw it as a massive play. Can't say I didn't. And I'd be interested to see what other people think of it. You know, what they saw within it. If Rob saw something quite nice, a good thing, I definitely didn't see that. I wouldn't mind going over it at some point. It'd take quite a bit because I'm pretty sure that the conversations that would ensue from us noticing how, all of the tactics that are used within it get used, I think it would probably take us quite a while. I know we had a lot to say as we were watching it, but that's without pausing. With pausing and trying to explain everything, I think it would take a long time, but would be well worth doing because I think there's a lot to notice within that one particular not debate. It's quite a few tactics and new faces, obviously, coming in. My idea was that whenever I started watching it, it seemed like to me that they'd maneuvered a new guy in and they were trying to discredit Nathan Oakley. At every step, they were just trying their best to well, do what they do. But hey, people may see it differently, and they're quite entitled to their own opinion. But it takes me back to some of the clips that I've got planned. I don't know whether we're going to get round to them, talk to them. The conversation that we've been having and the things we've been noticing, were all pretty apparent within that one particular meeting. We don't really know any of the people. I don't know how Nathan ended up going there or anything. It just seems like a really strange setup. It was really
Patrick
hard to
Gunnels
find
invited
the original video where he did the debate.
I've already, members only. You can watch the whole thing.
Yeah, he put it out today. But I was saying, like, the original video of the guy that was actually doing the original video. I mean, Nathan's not put any links to that, has he?
I'm not sure. I think he said he was going to. Like, I'm pretty sure in the first 15 minutes, it's just a bunch of hoo-ha, and I just skipped through that. But apparently Patrick Gunnels offered him to come on to that show.
Yeah, that was that would look like it was pretty evident, right? That Nathan was invited into something, and I'm not too sure how well Nathan and Patrick have ever communicated how they were going to go around that particular debate scenario and how it works within within that sort of a situation. But it seemed to me like it wasn't discussed or anything. Nathan was invited on to what I call a setup. Well, hey, see, make of it what you will. I don't think it went well, and it seemed like Flat Earth Society at work. It looked like there's a new guy who's coming in, who's going to be able to be more talkative to people other than Nathan, right? Judging by that particular one, you can't talk to Nathan, but you can talk to Patrick, who is aligning himself very well with the old flat earth arguments, the recycled flat earth arguments. Hey, everybody should really watch it. Well, I mean, like, watching it. Well, yeah, watching it, because that's watching it's half the thing. Watching the faces of the people. Interesting it was. Very interesting. I felt I learned quite a lot. And I would like to have a word with, or have a chat with any of those guys. They seem like they're up for that sort of thing, like discussion of challenging conceived perceptions of things. I don't know. Hopefully, new doors will be opened up. Maybe Patrick. No, I don't want to go have a chat with Patrick. Right, can I get a few of these videos?
I think it's
right. These media player. right? And Discord. Can you see that in Discord there?
I can see the screen.
Okay. These are short clips. This one's a 54-second clip. Now, you may have heard... you may have heard of Where's Wally? But you may not have heard him, the actual spoken word coming out of Wally's mouth. Well, this is Where's Wally? And one of the few times that he did actually talk. And we might go over this a few times, right? So listen to what Wally's saying. I'll just say this is a clip that I have clipped out of a conversation that we had. Right, so listen.
I think it certainly demonstrates that you can measure the radius of the Earth quite easily. Whether I would call it a proof or just a very good measurement and demonstration, I don't know. I don't really mind whichever way you want to call it. I know the way you're using the word proof is perhaps a little more technically correct. But I mean, this comes down to what QE likes to do with the scientific method. He likes to bang on and become really, really precise with scientific method. But
yeah,
scientists do all sorts of things, mate. I've worked in laboratories for many years, and it's a lot more loose than that. And I know QE will say, well, therefore they're not being a scientist; they're being a pseudo-scientist. Well, in some cases, it's quite justified to just, twist something a little bit this way or a little bit that way, but you've got the result and you know it's repeatable and verifiable, and that's good enough for most people.
Like that?
Good enough for nice people?
Good enough for most people.
Most people.
Twisting science. It may not be technically the scientific method, but hey, science sometimes is allowed to twist it. Do you want to listen to it again? It's only a minute long, right? So listen to it again.
Sounds very hypocritical.
Yeah, listen to it again with context now, though, right? Now that you know what you're listening to. Listen.
I think it certainly demonstrates that you can measure the radius of the Earth quite easily. Whether I would call it a proof or just a very good measurement and demonstration.
Okay, so he's linking measurement of the radius to a proof. That's where the beginning of the conversation starts.
I don't know. I don't really mind whichever way you want to call it. I know the way you're using the word proof is perhaps a little more technically correct.
So there's a difference between the way we're using proof and the way he's using proof. And ours is a little more technically correct, whereas his is not correct.
But I mean, this comes down to what QE likes to do with the scientific method. He likes to bang on and become really, really...
So the way that we use proof comes down to the way QE talks about the scientific method, in Wally's eyes anyway, right? And he's making a link between the two.
Really precise with scientific method, but
yeah,
scientists do all sorts of things, mate. I've worked in laboratories for many years, and it's a lot more loose than that. And I know QE will say, well, therefore they're not being a scientist, they're being a pseudo-scientist. Well, in some cases, it's quite justified to just, twist something a little bit this way or a little bit that way, but you've got the result and you know it's repeatable and verifiable, and that's good enough for most people.
Okay.
Isn't that called manipulating the result, manipulating it to get the result you want?
Yeah, and as long as you know that you can still twist it and get the same result every time, then
Exactly.
That's what we call a twisted scientific approach. But he's trying to relate that to the proofs that we have and how we can twist a mathematical proof, a geometric proof, to get the result that he wants. Very telling, isn't it? The blue marble scientists and the methods that they're willing to mentally achieve on their own. These are the people that we're dealing with.
And in their head, they must be getting the results they want.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I don't know why they keep saying it if not.
They keep twisting it in their own minds and imagining that they're coming out with their results that they want. But It's not apparent to anybody else. Unless they say you don't understand, which you obviously don't because there's no link.
Makes sense to me,
Yeah.
what you just said.
Right, let me see whether...
I just don't want to get caught up in the...
Okay. So, has that come through for you guys? Can you see that as well?
The
Yeah?
Discord, yeah.
No, yeah, like it's swapped the screen over, hopefully. Right, so this is the proof that Wally was talking about. Yeah?
I just don't want to get caught up in the minutiae of just trying to do every little nitty gritty step. I just look at, hey, I've got a straight line here, and this line goes across it at this angle, and this one beside it goes across it at a slightly different angle. Therefore, these two lines cannot possibly be parallel. And then you follow on from there to work out they are converging or diverging downwards, and therefore you can work out at what distance they must be before where they actually intersect.
So you're
to me,
saying,
that's a simple proof.
Yeah, you're saying you have a proof that horizontals aren't parallel.
That's absolutely correct.
That's Wally with his twisting ability of the science, which he will link to geometry, obviously. And he's got a proof, Wally, that horizontals aren't parallel. Now, I don't know whether you're aware of this, but I keep saying this. This proof that Wally has that horizontals aren't parallel is the one that Dave Weiss told him to take to Nathan Oakley. Nathan Oakley just swept it aside, and Wally's been over here, or was over here, and obsessed with the geometric side of it. For ages, he can't see a stolen concept fallacy. See you, Jem. Good to see you over here. Wally has got a proof that horizontals aren't parallel, which is obviously a geometric proof. But I'm guessing he thinks he can twist it a little bit to get the results that he wants. He must do, really. He must find some way to twist the proof system. Oh, listen to this again. Because this is Wally. And, it's Wally and the proof that he took from Dave Weiss for the Bitcoin challenge over to Nathan Oakley. Nathan Oakley dismissed it. Shouted at him, I think. And then Wally came over here. Now, after about a year or so of Wally doing this, Blue Marble has picked this up, this proof that Wally's talking about. It's going to become quite a hot topic soon. We're just building up nice and slowly with the vertical and horizontal. And this will start appearing more and more. This particular argument. Wally, take it away.
I just don't want to get caught up in the minutiae of just trying to do every little nitty gritty step. I just look at, hey, I've got a straight line here, and this line goes across it at this angle, and this one beside it goes across it at a slightly different angle. Therefore, these two lines cannot possibly be parallel. And then you follow on from there to work out they are converging or diverging downwards, and therefore you can work out at what distance they must be before where they actually intersect.
So you're
to me,
saying,
that's a simple proof.
Yeah, you're saying you have a proof that horizontals aren't parallel.
That's absolutely correct.
There you go. Oh, yes, we do, Blue. We definitely know what a stolen concept is.
What lines was he talking about at the beginning? You know, the lines that weren't exactly pure. He's got a line, a horizontal line. He's got one going at an angle this way, a slightly different line at a different angle. Was he talking about lines that he drew on paper or something? Or is he referring this to something else?
I will just get you the picture. We talked about it the other night.
I might have seen it and forgotten. So.
Yeah. It's the Wally and I think it's Where's Wally? I put it under. Yeah, this one here. This one. See that?
I'm not seeing it on Discord.
In the live chat.
Okay.
It's the one with the plus-sized Wally model at the bottom, pointing at two lines intersecting. Wally imagines that he can draw some lines on a piece of paper and put his little graphic of his thing on, state the triangle axiom, and then say that horizontals aren't parallel. He thinks that's a proof that horizontals aren't parallel.
This is
How so?
Look, have a look at it. He thinks that he thinks he can use the triangle axiom to prove that verticals aren't parallel, when everybody knows that vertical and horizontal are perpendicular, and there is a geometric law sort of thing that goes around that. Well, there's a load of geometric proofs that prove that perpendicularity leads to parallel. In fact, there is a, like what we call it, an axiom that states that specifically. We call that axiom the 12th axiom, the one that he's used. He's
using a line of sight from the stars. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, perpendicular to vertical, he has a horizontal. And then, well, there's all sorts of, there's Page's proof. There's the law of perpendicularity. There's mathematical proofs. But mainly there's the stolen concept that you can't use the very axiom that proves what you're trying to disprove. It's like the weirdest of weird. Like, if you were to pick one thing that you wanted to try and fool people about, that would be literally the last one that you would ever do. But Wally's done it. He's got some balls, Wally. Blue Marble's made a video as well on this. He's made it. Blue Marble has knelt at the Church of Wally, and he's made a video all about this, trying to help Wally. So you get the picture, right?
Yes, I see what he's doing, but it still doesn't prove anything. This is just a made up thought.
Yeah, he said he can twist any way that you do with the Blue Marble scientific method. You twist it in your mind to imagine that you have a proof. That's what Wally's done. He's convinced Blue Marble science to go along with it.
What does this have to do with perpendiculars?
Vertical and horizontal. Yeah. It's Wally. In Wally's mind, he can twist things and do whatever he wants. But Wally never saw the stolen concept. All of the time, every time we tried to explain it to him, he couldn't see it. That led us to this idea of ECV, right? The existential cognitive veiling. You show somebody something that's real, and they literally can't see it. And when I say literally, I mean it. It can't see it.
Because in their mind, it's not supposed to work that way.
It can't work that way, right? It has to work some other way, because you can't have what is obviously true being true, because it just doesn't work. Blue Marble thinks I've gone mad. That's the way you have to think, Blue. And we know that, and we understand it. It's a blue marble scientific method. It's fine. Try and convince yourself as much as you want. You've fallen into a trap where you've stated an impossibility within geometry, but you've not seen the stolen concept that's within it. Most people can. Most people can understand the geometric principles that Wally's tried to use. The one axiom within Euclidean geometry that is strictly Euclidean. This is the one thing that you can't have in any other geometry. Even in imagining the not that, it seems that this is so self-evident that it's really hard for anybody to imagine the not this. Like, how can you have a not that axiom? It's so self-evident. Triangles have 180 degrees, the sum of two right angles. If those two right angles are taken up in two angles, then you're not going to get a third angle, because both of them are right angles. That's two. There's no third. There's no third. And there's no angle that you can place in the third one to form the triangle, because triangles only have 180 degrees. It's a fundamental of geometry and logic. And you'll learn to see the two of them. Talking to you, Blue Marble, most of the good people listening already understand the basics of this sort of stuff.
That was very well explained, but
I hope so, but it takes loads of times, this sort of stuff. It's so self-evident and so simple. People can't really see it. I think they've been over-complicated, unnecessary complication. Within everything, it becomes hard to see the simplicity at the beginning.
I was going to say that it's difficult to get back to the simplicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, because it's like you going back to childhood and doing that basic learning again. People like to imagine that they're way beyond that, but sometimes there is a benefit into going back to the fundamentals.
And some people are incapable of doing that at all, obviously.
It can't be, Blue. You can't have a triangle with more than 180 degrees, because what would you call two right angles then? That's why you have problems, Blue. Thinks he can magically put a different word in front of geometric terms that are known by everybody. To imagine something different. A bit like Wally and his twisting of the scientific purposes. Blue Marble seems to be going along with it. I think it's because Blue Marble has also developed this proof that Wally has. Wally has a proof that horizontals aren't parallel. A geometric proof. But like Wally said, he doesn't like to go into the minutiae of the beginnings of all of this stuff. He just says he's got these two lines and three lines, and one of them intersect with the other, and hey, he makes a triangle. That's right, isn't it, Blue? Doesn't like to talk about the fundamentals of how we actually understand what the straight lines are and the triangles and... But hey, this is Wally. Does it differently. You imagine things differently in different places. It's the way the Blue Marble scientific method works. Got a couple more videos, so... Right, now, these ones, on your model, this is talking to, well, let me put this back here. You should know by the picture. Are you ready for this? This is a discussion about perpendicular, but not the normal perpendicular, the vertical and the horizontal, like we've been talking about, the understanding of how vertical and horizontal work. Well, this is a discussion that we had on your model there. I've extended some of the horizontals for you.
Yeah.
And I've made a square there.
Yeah.
Right, so they are all on your model that you've just given us. Horizontals that are perpendicular to horizontals.
Because the horizontal changes depending on where you are on the surface of the Earth.
You think that's fine? Because I thought vertical and horizontal were perpendicular.
They are at any one point on the surface of the Earth.
But also horizontal is perpendicular to horizontal in your model.
Well, no, it varies. The angle of the direction of up and down varies depending on where you are on the surface of the Earth.
Vertical, though, right?
Two plumb bobs, just as I said, two.
You hear that? The angle of up and down, Rumpus. This was the beginning of the first, the beginnings of the geometric misunderstandings of the blue marble scientists. When I noticed that the blue marble scientists were overstepping the bounds of science and delving into geometric realms, somewhere where a scientist shouldn't really delve, right? It's not for the scientist to deal with geometry. Horizontal in your model.
Well, no, it varies. The angle of the direction of up and down varies depending on where you are on the surface.
That's vertical, though, right?
Two plumb bobs, just as I said, two plumb bobs.
Yeah, verticals.
Hold on, let me just finish my sentence. Two plumb bobs will point down, but they will not be parallel if they're more than, say, 600 meters apart.
Oh, so they will. There are some parallel verticals allowed then.
No, I just told you they're not. No, I just told you. They're not. They're not
so there are no parallel verticals on your model.
Correct. Yes, actually, yes. If you would go to a resolution, immediately you moved away from even if you want to say even an inch, there's a very slight difference then in the angle of down. It's so slight you wouldn't be able to.
Difference in the angle of down. Now, much like the 3 planes of a triangle comment from the other day, how many people do you reckon have ever stated the angle of down? And just take a brief moment to think about that. What that means. Particularly to a blue marble scientist. The angle of down.
Measure it with a theodolite.
Angle of down. What is the angle of down?
Toward the centre of the Earth.
What's the angle, though, please?
Well, that defines. Well, it's that is a straight line. That defines the starting point, your reference angle.
It's a straight line. The angle of down is a straight line. Rumpus is in aporia at the moment, and hey, why wouldn't they be? Check it out. Yeah, angle. What angle?
Hold on, it defines the zero. It defines zero.
A zero angle?
Well, you pick on your coordinates.
A zero angle. The angle of down is a zero angle. Which obviously Rumpus has no clue about. Most people don't. These are the problems that are caused by the blue marble scientists. If vertical isn't perpendicular to horizontal, then what is it? Now you've got people waffling on about an angle of down being 0, a straight line. What's the thing that we know about an angle? It's the inclination of one straight line to another. 2 straight lines needed. And 2 straight lines cannot enclose a space, so fuck you, Nathan. You can do fuck all with an angle. It's within the self-evident axioms of Euclidean geometry. Apparently, some people can do certain things with the angle of 0.
System, but down is defined by going to the centre of the Earth, and then you measure.
No, it's not. Down is not defined as set towards the centre of the Earth,
Yes, it
Rumpus.
is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It is not.
Has anybody got a definition of down within a dictionary that means you can't to the centre? Is down ever defined anywhere to the centre? Just in Rumpus's mind, just in the minds of the blue marble scientists, that then causes problems for the rest of the implications of the initial statement that they've said. Do away with a lot when you start this sort of thinking.
Absolutely, it is.
Vertical is perpendicular to horizontal, though, right? Or are you allowing for vertical to be perpendicular to vertical as well?
Depending on where you are on the surface of the Earth, you should see from my diagram that the angles for vertical and horizontal, I've drawn level, you can substitute the word horizontal. Those angles change depending on where you are. In absolute space, of course. This is looking at from space.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's right.
You're using Euclidean geometry looking from an impossible place.
Well, this is an orthographic. This is an orthographic view of the Earth, say, and there, the angle of horizontal and vertical will change.
You don't seem to understand what. Did you hear that? I was a bit hasty there. But he does say the angle of horizontal and vertical will change. It's blue marble science. You're using Euclidean geometry looking from an impossible place.
Well, this is an orthographic. This is an orthographic view of the Earth, say, and there, the angle of horizontal and vertical will change.
You don't. There, the angle of horizontal and vertical will change. But that's the perpendicularity of horizontal and vertical. Rumpus is trying a bit of Wally scientific twisting in order to get his achieved result, but I don't even think he knows what his achieved result is. His achieved result is already in his mind. So I don't know what he's doing, really. He's trying to justify something that's ridiculous.
If you have any idea how many definitions there are for down in the dictionary?
Do any of them say to the centre?
One of them says to the center of activity. That's one of the definitions, but nothing to the center of Earth. No. It's ridiculous how many different definitions there are.
Yeah.
But the first one is from a higher to a lower place or position.
Yeah, we'll get to that in the next short clip.
Okay.
I don't seem to understand what horizontal is, Rumpus.
I absolutely understand it. You don't.
You don't. You've got it at different angles. You can't have something that's perpendicular to itself and also perpendicular to something else.
I mean, you don't seem to be taking anything on board here. Let's try it again. The position angle of horizontal and vertical changes with your position on the surface.
Perpendicular.
No. You see, you're talking about perpendicular again. You don't listen to what I'm telling you.
Vertical and horizontal are perpendicular. That's a fact. But Rumpus is saying no. But why is he saying no? Because they are. How can you have something being perpendicular and not perpendicular at the same time? That sounds like it's a contradiction. Maybe it is a contradiction. Maybe Rumpus is holding a contradiction like most blue marble scientists are. It gets very simple when you deal with the geometric facts of vertical and horizontal being perpendicular, both of them being straight lines.
The point at you wish to consider, the horizontal and vertical are perpendicular, but both of them change. They maintain their perpendicular nature, but at each point on the surface of the Earth, horizontal and vertical have different angles with respect to other points on the surface.
You like that? Vertical and horizontal are perpendicular, but they change. Change from perpendicular whilst being perpendicular. It's very Blue Marble science, isn't it? Very globe. Very, very globe-like. And this one. You know what we call a vertical change? You know when we measure a vertical change.
Yeah, it's an elevation change.
Yeah, a vertical measurement in the vertical.
Yeah. It's a good approximation over a short distance.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that horizontal being straight would get a measurement from the... Oh, wait a minute. You use a tool called a level that establishes a horizontal, and then from that horizontal you measure a vertical change, don't you?
I'm saying that
you do though, don't you? Right? Do you understand that, right? You use a tool called a level that establishes a horizontal, and you measure a vertical change from that horizontal. And what do we call that vertical change again?
Elevation change. That's not what I'm saying.
In reference to the horizontal, obviously. Sorry, I was GTAing in the background. What do you think of that then? What you do is you measure a vertical change after you've set up your level to establish the zero elevation change. And then you measure a vertical change, and that tells you the change in elevation of the land from the reference surface of the level. So a vertical change is an elevation change, and I think everybody can agree on that one. And we can all agree that vertical and horizontal are definitely perpendicular. Without doing the Wally scientific twist or the Blue Marble scientific twist on any of these straight lines and perpendicularity and a change in the vertical from the horizontal, obviously from the horizontal line or plane that's established, not at the point, because that would be ridiculous to imagine a vertical change at the point where the level is. But that would be totally insane to imagine that. So, there were 4 little clips. We were just going over. What we got? What do you think about that then? We've got the Blue Marble scientific people, the Where's Wally, handing down a stolen concept for Blue Marble to twist. Now, I don't know whether Wally told Blue Marble about the little twist that he'd put in there, i.e. the massive stolen concept of the thing that's impossibility that he's made Blue Marble make a video about. Coming soon, actually, with the reciprocal zenith angles. We'll build this up for a bit. It's important that everybody understands the geometric importance of perpendicularity and the vertical and the horizontal for us to understand the bit that's coming. Because in that discussion that was on a bit earlier, that I think that's bringing back Soundly and Blue Marble and the Lake Pontchartrain 3 coplanar points. It's all linking together from the triangle the other day. The 3 planes of a triangle. Be interesting to know which plane of anything that Blue Marble and Jesse Kozlowski use whenever they talk about the 3 coplanar points of the Lake Pontchartrain. It's a good one for you to be thinking about, Blue. Over the weekend, mull it over. See whether you can come up to an understanding. Does everybody understand what the 3 coplanar points significance is with all of this? Within mathematics,
Nah, man, I'm still laughing about the 3 planes of a triangle.
Yeah, I know, it's great, isn't it? What about the angle of down? Right, that's just as ridiculous, but Rumpus has been saying that for a bit, and people have got away with it. You know what's even stupider, right? One of the ridiculous ones that I heard, and I think it was Nathan Oakley that heard me this one, right? Tangent to the horizon. That's ridiculous. That's just as bad as the 3 planes of a triangle and the angle of down. Because if the horizon's horizontal, then how can you have a tangent to it? Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it, when you think about it that way? But I guess many people have already accepted somebody else saying it, but because they had never pointed out the geometric facts of it, loads of people had said that the horizon isn't geometric. Well, news for you. A horizontal line is definitely geometric. The line is geometric. Straight line's geometric. A plane's geometric. So if all of the horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, then yeah, man, it's geometric. That's what I heard today. Sorry, John, go on.
I was just going to say, you wouldn't be able to make the statement 45 degrees off the horizon if it wasn't a straight line.
Yeah, and if it weren't geometric.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, we're in some interesting times where the simplicity is deemed to be something different. And now we've got Nathan Oakley. He's being set up. I mean, we had nothing to do with that, right? I don't even know who Patrick is. I don't know who those other guys are, but that was a setup, Nathan. And I hope you see it as such. It's like a ushering in, I was saying. When we go over it with everyone in the Discord, maybe this weekend, it's... yeah, it looks to me, anyway, like it's a massive setup. Hard times. Don't know what you have to do. He said he even did it for free. He went over there without getting any money out of it. He did make a video and he did get some super chats from the video that he put out earlier. But he did comment in there that he did it for nothing. Imagine going over and talking to people for nothing. Like his entire show, people have been going over there and talking to him.
The audacity of some people to not get paid for talking on the internet. Like, what kind of character does that?
Yeah,
like,
imagine that. having a show where people come on and talk to you for like how many episodes? Quite a lot. And then saying that he did it for nothing. Of course he did. He needs content. Did anybody else? Ian Adams said he watched it. And there's a lot of people that do watch all of these different things. Now, Ian, have you been made to feel guilty for watching both us and Nathan Oakley? Made to feel dirty by Nathan Oakley for doing that, being part of the triangle of influence.
Not here, I have it.
This was sphere of influence. I protest.
Was it? I thought it was the triangle of influence within the sphere. Triangulate the sphere of influence. I don't know, something about that.
I might have been made to feel like a bad person by watching you.
Well, don't feel bad.
But let me be clear. I'm very proud to be a part of this server.
Thank you very much, Rob. And you're welcome. I've still got my face mask.
He's just a fucking flat earther.
I still have those pictures in my phone.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
We love your
even my wife laughed.
Yeah, everybody, if you're not aware that when it became necessary for us to wear face masks, I had a custom-made Rob Keane face mask. So I could walk around being Rob Keane. Not many, but they're exclusive then. I don't know how many people got them. May just be me. Yeah, so did anybody else watch it? Did anybody else watch it like when it was live, or did we just not bother watching? Because I think you can learn a lot by watching these videos.
I will, if I will have time.
Yeah, he put it out today. But you might need to be a member to watch it. And you might need to wait for a few days. I'd love to go over it with everyone, but it's a 2.5 hour video, and I know by the way that we've watched it today, the conversation will take at least that. So it may be a 6 hour video once we've gone through it. Because there is so many tactics at play. Interesting times we're in. Jeff watched it and liked it. Do you reckon he was a naval bloke? I don't know whether that's a character or not. I don't know. You know, there's another guy who pretends he was in the Navy. May just be part of the script. You know, like, you can get away with it. Fight the Flat Earth got away with it, didn't he?
Stolen valor is real.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough one as well, isn't it? You maybe be able to hide behind it. Yeah, you can't question the some people about anything. But I mean, like, I'd like to have a chat with them, because they do seem and say that they are keen on questioning themselves and making people question themselves. So I'd like to take into that and see whether they can make me question myself. It's what we're all about here. So I would definitely like to have that conversation with those guys. Not Patrick. I think Patrick does he does politics and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Reds and Soundleys Bridge. But I quite like the idea of the Soundleys Bridge, right? Because they were questioning the 1.22 versus 8 inches. They're both geometric things. I think that was a nice little play that the Flat Earth Society got out of that. Because it was sort of like a false dichotomy. Very cleverly done. And I will go over it to show how clever it was. But they've set up a false dichotomy of 1.22 versus 8 inches. And then played both of them off each other. No proofs from any other side or anything. Just the discussion around the not that. While stating not that. Genius, even.
Isn't one optical and one physical?
Isn't what?
The 1.22, isn't that an optical observation, right?
As far as I'm aware, it's Rayleigh's criterion, isn't it?
Squared should be able to be proved physically, right?
It depends if you can get them to narrow down whatever it is that they're talking about, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is why it was strange that they brought up Reds and Soundleys Bridge together. Because it just shows the confusion.
Fully confusion there.
Yeah. Because they look at Rakia's bridge, like Soundley did from his hotel room that he shared with all of the other guys. Loads of guys sharing the hotel room at Marriott, while one guy drives over a bridge.
You realize that Reds and Soundly, those are the promoted flat Earth debunkers. So anybody that looks into this is going to come to those videos first.
Yeah.
And believe those.
Well, I wouldn't know about, because we have extensively been over both the geometric understanding of this and Jesse Kozlowski's disappearance after talking about this and not being able to state his geometric implications of what exactly happened with that Flat Earth Society play. It's one of the biggest mistakes that they ever could have made. I just showed that I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, come in and tell us what we're talking about. Make it clear. If you think I've made a mistake, come on in. We're now talking about the fact that these guys brought up the misunderstanding that they have between two different formulas for something that isn't real. Something that doesn't happen. Something that they can't actually talk about. It's impressive that two groups of people can have a conversation about something, but without actually getting to the point of what they're talking about, and lay out a false dichotomy yet again, without actually stating the bit that they're missing out. It's almost as if everybody's forgotten about the straight line. About perpendicularity being the proof about the straight line, and how that can be imagined differently within a twisting of, I'm guessing a conceptual twisting, because reality doesn't. Oh, what's that, Essie? Little picture.
I'm going through my things and look what I found.
Yeah. What's that say?
Aporia.
Hey, how is it? Nice. Blue marble. Here we go. Mathematics. Blue marble mathematics. Let's go. 8 times mile squared is drop. 1.22 times observer height in feet is distance to the horizon. If you're going to talk about, maybe you should learn something about it first. A distance to the horizon. Has that ever been checked, Blue? Can you actually measure that distance to check it? And drop. It dropped from what, Blue? Like a vertical drop. Is that what we're talking about, Blue? 8 inches per mile squared is a drop. A vertical drop. So that's it. Confirmed. The difference from Blue is one is a distance to an apparent position, and the other one is a drop measured within the vertical. Fantastic. Thank you, Blue, for coming in and letting us know about that. I bet you wish you could have been there debating Nathan Oakley, or chatting with Nathan Oakley. It was a hit job. But I say it's pretty much the same as this modern day debate scenario set up, where you get set up with somebody that you're not familiar with, and they just undermine everything that you ever do. Yeah, because he recorded it on his end. Within his recording. Nathan knows what he's doing. Nathan knows how the mute button works. Nathan uses the mute button. It's quite
used
funny.
it on SE. Yeah, used it on SE quite well.
He uses it on everyone. You can hear him using it. So that's what was funny about it, was that he was getting upset.
Quickly, can I say something about that mute button?
Yeah, go on.
Because he doesn't actually mute you. What he does is he has a sound gate on his program, like his OBS or something, where his mic overpowers, like doesn't mute you. Like if Nathan wasn't talking in that moment, you would be heard.
No, you wouldn't. He actually, he physically mutes you.
Let me finish. No, let me finish. If you go back and watch what Nathan Oakley put out, he is not muted. But if you watch the video that they put out, he is muted. So all he's doing is talking and muting that stream when he's putting out his video.
Yeah, we're not talking about that. We're talking about when Nathan's doing his normal shows.
Yeah.
And he's got
his
someone like SE in
priority
there.
Gate. Yeah, his gate is the priority gate, because as soon as Nathan will sing, you'll hear bits of SE talking in that video. Because SE wasn't actually muted. It's just when Nathan's talking, his mic takes priority in the video.
I beg to differ, sir.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
muted.
Okay.
I guarantee you I was muted.
Okay.
And especially near the end, he muted me permanently. Gone. I was out, gone.
All right. I'll concede.
Yeah. Yeah, he did it. He
to
did
SE.
it. It was pretty obvious what Nathan does, but you can't see the mute being active within Discord, because most of the time he might not be muting through Discord. He might be muting through his end on the actual show. Because don't forget, he does it through a different stream, so he can just mute Discord entirely while he's talking.
As a matter of fact, the moderator told me stick around till the end of the show, and then I will unmute you. But I can't unmute you now because you were muted.
Yeah.
So, Rob, I guarantee you, bro, I was muted.
Yeah, we know that Nathan uses the
Like
mute
I
button.
said, I conceded that point, but then Bev just went ahead and explained what I said.
Yeah. So yeah, I found it funny that Nathan was getting upset at other people doing it. Gem Panda's another one that does it. They use it as a tactic. They'll say something to you, then they'll mute you, and then answer for you while you're muted.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I have to say this. It's the truth. Gem Panda is more fair with the mute button than Nathan is. You can tell him I said that because I have been on Gems. He has muted me, but then he lets me speak after. That's not the case with Nathan. Once you get muted, well, say goodbye. And that's a fact, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. Like I say, everybody does it. They mute people that they don't like hearing.
There's nothing to do on Nathan's. What conversation can you possibly have there? Talk about the 10 things. If you go say something against it or question it, you get muted. So it's absolutely worthless for me, speaking for myself.
I went over, there was another video as well. I don't know whether to get that one out. I showed that with Captain last night. The proofs and the arguments. Let me see if I can find it.
Hey, Rob, have you ever had a conversation in there? Like, you've been there for years, right? Have you ever been on the panel and had a conversation with any of them?
Oh shit, I don't even remember. Like maybe like way early in the beginning when they would do some streams, I would pop in there and just do some jokes.
And you're a member for years, right?
Yeah.
But yet here we get to talk to you on a daily basis almost, huh? Funny that, huh?
No. What I mean is like this is my work time. Like I'm at work. Nathan shows on before I even get out of bed.
Oh, it's too early. Okay, all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
If I was up that early, yeah, I'd probably get in there and beat you my jokes. But sometimes they would do the afternoon shows, and I would hop in there and just I would come off mute and have nothing to say, and everybody would laugh.
But how did the convo go? Like, did you ask questions? Did you?
No, I'm always working. You guys are. I don't know what it is, but I just like talking here. But I should be working. I'm getting paid.
You're getting him in trouble, I see.
I know, right?
Sorry.
We get the best of Rob Keane here. Leave alone, Essie.
All right.
I love being here.
Glad you're here.
Don't you want to go where everybody knows your name? Isn't there a song like that?
Yeah, a whole television
show?
show, as I recall.
Cheers.
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows your name. Aren't you glad that you came?
Yes, sir.
And good evening, everyone.
Hey, Redmond.
Hey, Red.
Hey.
See, I got recommended a video. It's from Conspiracy Tunes. And it says it's celestial navigation only works on a globe. And you've never seen any of these guys rebutting it. I think it's strange. I think it's strange that nobody's actually mentioning that or going over that video. It got recommended me a video. I don't know why. But it was put out 2 weeks ago and I got it recommended on my list this morning. Can you imagine why that'd be?
You want to hear a story about that channel?
Which channel?
Conspiracy Tunes.
Oh yeah, go on.
Do you know whose channel it is?
It's McToon's, but it's the one that
You know
Conspiracy Cats
where he
give
got it
away.
from?
Yeah, Conspiracy Cats give it
Yeah.
away when he was leaving the arena.
All right, you guys already got the story. I'll go back to work.
He gave one to Spasticus, Mr. Sensible, and one to to Toon. I was going over a few videos. Let me see. There's a few Professor Phil ones. Go over the Larry Scott video. Oh, I can't even find it now. Don't know where I should really order these things in a better manner. Anti-flat Earth. I did a video a bit ago. Globe Defenders requirements for straight. I might have to start putting my videos out. A bit more often. This was an old video. Let me just put this in the YouTube chat.
Three coplanar.
Let me give you guys this in the Discord. This is 11 minutes. I quite like this, but I'll play the whole thing because it's don't know whether it's Buster music or 11 minutes. Here we go.
Points, and bam, there's the radius of the Earth.
On the level.
The way I phrase it is a monument to the curvature of the Earth. It really is.
Level.
It really is.
Level.
And Bam.
Can I do it, Bam? Can I do
Radius
it?
of the Earth.
In a debate, what is the construct? It's
Three
typically two
co-planar
people,
points.
and there's
Three
an audience,
co-planar points.
and you debate some opposite sides of some issue, and then there's a winner of the debate. And then everyone walks away reflecting on the winner. So who wins a debate? It's often the person who's charismatic, who's maybe charming, that's related to charisma, of course, who has a good way with words, good vocabulary. And you can have someone who doesn't have any of that, who is speaking objective truths, who could lose a debate. So then what is the point of the debate? If one of these points of view is objectively true, that is something that should not be debated, does not belong in front of an audience getting debated. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch.
Listen to my words very carefully.
Listen to me very carefully.
Don't debate something that is or is not objectively true.
I have done personal calculations in the military for fuel consumption that only work when we're on a sphere.
If you want to get into it, the Earth isn't quite a sphere. It's a little bleh. Its spin is a little bleh. Stretched it, made it slightly oblate. It's a little bleh.
Yep, it's still a sphere though.
It's round. It's a little
Okay,
bleh.
now let's see. How do we go about proving that?
Nobody can make water bend all the curves that way up.
There has to be bendy water. You know, there just has to be.
We have measurements showing what the actual geometry of the bridge is.
It is not curved, you twat.
If anybody wants to check this math, that's the chord.
Well, math is kryptonite to flirts.
In non-Euclidean geometry, straight lines can curve.
Bam! Water levels give you horizontal.
Those are fighting words.
So people have known that the Earth is spherical for thousands of years. You know, everything else we take a picture of is a sphere.
I didn't need to do any experiments. You know, I just looked at photos.
This is all susceptible to analysis.
But could the Earth be a disk? Could it be flat, but it's actually still shaped like a disk, not like a sphere?
Oh, once happy bauble, twisting on the bliss twig of ignoramy, you were suddenly plunged into the braintanglia of rude math, and with what shocking results? Has the Earth been reduced to an odious space gland? Is this what we've done to ourselves? Good Christ, I hope not.
It's all about attacking the globe.
That's the whole point.
Well, there we go then. In a mathematical sense, a straight line can be curved.
And there it is from the side. You're not going to see curvature
Earth is round.
from the side.
I'm using laws of math and physics to show Earth is flat.
It's not okay
Doubt the globe.
to think that the Earth is flat.
The St. Lawrence River has been the U.S. Geology Society has measured this river to be 8 meters higher at the mouth than at the source.
I don't really know what's going on right now.
Interesting that shape that you just showed us there, Jesse. Would you like to expound on that?
Three coplanar points. This shape right here?
Yeah.
It's not okay to say that the Earth is flat.
Bam! Water levels give you horizontal.
Well, it looks curved to me.
The surface is not curved, you twat.
Exactly. It's level.
Tangent to horizontal.
Curved.
It's not curved, you twat.
It's awesome. It is
it's an amazing
It is an amazing piece
of architecture,
construction.
really. Yeah.
It is. The way I phrase it is three coplanar points to the curvature of the Earth.
It really is.
It's a man-made monument. It really is.
I totally agree with that.
It really is.
Not curved, you twat.
And we're looking in that direction, which looks that way. See how that looks? You're looking out. Three coplanar points. Okay. And so the curve drops away from the horizontal tangent downward like that. That's how it works.
Right.
Three coplanar points. I don't know why people can't understand that.
Not curved, you twat.
You know.
Seems pretty straightforward to me, Jess.
A submarine car. I had to go underwater. You're below.
That's all below the horizon. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to roll the windows up.
You want to flood the car, huh?
I had to put it in amphibious mode. Oh man.
This is what the geometry actually is. We're talking about the actual shape of the Earth.
I nailed that.
This is what it should look like. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. And
correct.
They all agree with each other. Just to clarify, this is your data that Walter has taken, and he has rendered it in a 3D space.
Yes.
And this is what we're getting.
Yes. And
very interesting.
Yeah. It is really, it's just awesome. These are he took the XYZ coordinates. He wrote his own program to convert them back to Latin long. He wrote his own program. He wrote his own program. I mean, he's done absolute geodetic software writing. I mean, it's like he's got all the calculations in here. He wrote his own program. It's awesome. So
this is like going out and touching it. It's like including a whole other sense. It's not just an observation of a photograph. It's not photographic. It's not optical. There's no refraction involved here. This is us going out and literally touching the surface of the bridge.
He was doing the Bislin thing.
So these are X, Y, and Z coordinates plotted in a 3D space.
Yes.
And this is what you get.
That's right. And bam, there's the radius of the Earth. There it is.
Boom! Look at that.
Tangent to a horizontal.
Wow.
3 coplanar points.
Wow,
Now,
you can even kind of see some refraction going on.
I agree, levels horizontal.
I think so.
Look at that. Refraction in the observation versus the actual geometry of the bridge. Side by side.
3 level points.
Compare and contrast.
And you see if they created...
Compare and contrast that with Walter Bislin's model.
I collected a lot of points. Let's put it that way. 30
triangle between them.
I thought he said every third
or a
point.
straight line.
Yeah.
Right.
You're below.
That's all below the horizon. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to roll the windows up.
You want to flood the car, huh?
I had to put it in amphibious mode. Oh man. If anybody has some ideas on how to render it in some way or do some animations, that would be cool. That's a lot of wording, a lot of gobbledygook, but that's what's happening.
How DPS works. I mean, that's how it works. Yeah. Social media, show them how we have literally measured. Jesse has literally measured. I have literally photographed, and Walter has literally modeled the curvature of the Earth. They all agree, and that's how we know the Earth is a globe.
I think it's important to combat people who are claiming that they are using math, science, evidence, and physics behind their cause, when in fact they either aren't or they're using it badly. That needs to be called out. Otherwise, if you just have a belief system, I don't really care. We live in a country that protects free speech, which usually also means free thought. But if you start influencing other people who have power over other people, and you have no foundation in objective reality, it can be dangerous.
Now that is scientific fact. There's no real evidence for it, but it is scientific fact.
If you influence people or you yourself become someone who has influence over legislation, laws, rules by which we all abide in society, that's an unhealthy situation for civilization to be in. If your personal belief system, which does not have correspondence in objective reality, starts becoming predominant in the thoughts and hearts and minds of civilization.
I gotta say, you're totally blowing my mind right now.
That's what I do. I'm Neil deGrasse bitch. There it is. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. Bitch.
Totally blowing my mind right now.
I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. Bitch. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Bitch. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth. If you are 2 millimeters above this beach wall. He just don't.
Listen to me very carefully. Ranty bant you because of what happened.
We're immune to that, right?
Ranty bant you.
Listen to me very carefully
because of what happened.
That's hilarious, Brandon.
Is it?
Yeah. Listen to me very carefully. Do you know who else says that? Ruhith.
Yeah, I probably picked that up from the other people.
Yeah.
Okay, here, let me say it a different way.
Like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Now you put water into a cup. You put water into a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle. It becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot. It becomes the teapot. Now water can flow. Or it can crash. Be water, my friend. Water. Like water. Now you put water into a cup. It becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow, or it can crash.
Okay. We're back. You like that one? I made that one ages ago.
It was a good vid.
Yeah. All the bits in it. Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about whether you should debate somebody or not.
I wish you would have kept doing those. Those were so much fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, you can still watch them. They're still out there. I should really be putting them, ordering them out and putting them a bit better, because there's so many of them. I've got loads of things that I've got cut that have never made it into onto YouTube for any reason or purpose or anything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start doing that.
I like the one where was it? Who was it? Fight the Flat Earth. They calculated the fuel consumption that could only work on a globe.
Yeah, diesel.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
That's one of his proofs of the globe, about the calculation of the diesel. How much diesel he used. How much diesel do you reckon a sub uses? Have you ever heard of a diesel submarine?
No.
Do you think that? How good do you think that'd be?
Not very good unless you're very close to the surface. You could have an exhaust pipe.
You not reckon it'd be stealthy as fuck?
Not at all.
It's like, who is that? Oh, don't worry about that. It's the Scottish Navy. In the diesel subs, you can hear them for fucking miles. Here they come. Don't worry about them. I don't really think, like, some people say they're in the Navy, right? And they say they have globe proofs, but some of them are just a little bit too much to believe. You know, there's too many coincidences that line up beforehand. Do you know he had a brain injury?
Is that
just before going in the Navy, supposedly, let's say.
You might have broke up. I didn't hear who you were talking about.
The same guy. Same
Okay.
guy that has a globe proof about how much diesel he calculated to use.
I don't think I heard that, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he had a brain injury before he went in.
They accepted him.
Well, that's why I say sometimes the stories just become a little bit too much to believe, don't they? But yeah, we've got a clip of him stating that. Now, he's either lying when he said it, or...
Might have been for his ability to calculate how much diesel fuel he would need.
Yeah.
Move that submarine from point A to point B.
Yeah, what can I do? Just go in the corner and calculate how much diesel we're going to use. It's like, hey, wait, weren't you meant to be a nuclear specialist on a submarine? Why were you calculating how much diesel we're using? I mean, come on. Never mind. Some people just, they're just characters on the internet. But you like the Soundly connection, because we have done quite a fair bit of work on that. 3 coplanar points. Isn't that right? Blue marble science. Oh, that's one of the things. Let me get that. Because that's what started all of this off. You know, Logos gives you stuff. Here we go. You guys heard of Whatever? The guy that did the spinning water level thing.
That was too funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
Right, well,
spinning water level.
Yeah. Check this out. I mean, if Paper's still in, okay, right. So this morning I had to try and explain to Kevin, because Kevin wasn't around when most of this stuff was going off, because these conversations that we've been having, obviously, some of them occurred before you guys came around and started. Right, you might have been listening for a bit, so you might understand this already, right? But within the Jesse Kozlowski and Soundly clip was a statement that was made by Jesse Kozlowski, and he said he took 3 points of the bridge, one at the beginning and one at the end, one in the middle. Right, he then called them 3 coplanar points across Lake Pontchartrain. So this is pretty relevant to, especially hearing that the guys on the thing with Nathan Oakley were also bringing up Rakir's Bridge. So that's where the reference to 3 coplanar points comes right now. So what you have to imagine is do that thing where you imagine these 3 coplanar points, one at each end of the bridge and one in the middle. What's that plane that you imagine when you hear 3 coplanar points?
Normally, I would think that that would be horizontal, but in his example, it is impossible. This is vertical.
Well, okay. So going back over some of the clips that we had about a vertical change is called an elevation change. This is the impossible position of the hump and drop. One of the contradictions of the blue marble scientists that they seem unable to deal with, right? So you would imagine 3 coplanar points being a triangle, but could also be along the same line. There's nothing to say that 3 coplanar points cannot exist within a straight line, because the straight line can lie within a plane. All the straight lines lie within a plane. So 3 coplanar points don't necessarily have to be a triangle. They could be a straight line, within a straight line on a plane. But that's the question that you have to ask yourself when Jesse Kozlowski said it. That's why I think so far back, this statement from Jesse Kozlowski is one of the reasons Jesse Kozlowski is no longer around. The famously named doing a Jesse Kozlowski means that you can just disappear whenever you've said something really stupid. Now, some people do it for a year or two, and then they come back. But it looks like Jesse's made a right cock up of what he said. He said a few different things. One of them being 3 coplanar points. The other one being that there is a drop from horizontal. Because the two can't mutually exist together. This is ridiculous. And it just shows a massive confusion. But Whatever is the guy that has enabled us to bring this into the conversation, and I will explain. Whatever says, first off, the setup, right? This is the reason I've had to tell you this about the Jesse Kozlowski. Whatever says, any 3 coplanar points that are not also collinear are on the circumference of a unique circle. Are you with us so far?
Nonsense.
Well,
it cannot be.
You know, there is a unique circle, because you can put all 3 points of a triangle within a circle. Right? You can put all points on the circumference of any triangle.
Okay, but,
Yep.
there is a word collinear, yes?
Yeah.
Or not in his state. So,
Yeah.
but linear means straight line.
Yeah. He says that if they are not collinear,
Oh, okay, not.
yeah, that are on the circumference of a unique circle. Right? This is not spherical geometry. Interior angles of a triangle formed by the three coplanar points add to 180 degrees.
But this triangle is vertical, in vertical position.
Well,
Cannot
not
be
in this
horizontal.
particular statement, but we can get round to that in a bit, right? So what he's saying is any three coplanar points that are not also collinear, i.e. making a triangle, not a straight line, are on the circumference of a unique circle. So he knows geometrically that you can place 3 points of a circle on the circumference of 3 points of a triangle on the circumference of a circle. That's something that can definitely occur. And that's within Euclidean geometry, right? The proof and the relationship of the triangle to the circle are within Euclidean geometry. And there are proofs for this statement that he's making here. He says interior angles of a triangle formed by the three coplanar points add to 180 degrees, just like the statement that we've said. A triangle is the 3 points and they add up to 180 degrees. Provable within the very geometry that he's just described there. Set up. So whatever, like these blue marble scientists do, that's real. That's a geometric reality. Now, to the blue marble science part. Once the setup, and now the attempted trick. He says, it's how Jesse was able to calculate the Earth's radius using three coplanar points along the Lake Pontchartrain causeway. So Jesse, this is Jesse Kozlowski, the guy that's done a Jesse Kozlowski and is not around anymore. But seemingly all of these guys talk to him regularly. It's like he's around, but he just isn't able to come and talk about anything. He just talks to these guys with their paralogisms. But it doesn't ever actually come to justify what he's saying. So he's telling them that Jesse says he's measured the radius of the Earth. Stanley even said it too. Blue Marble thinks he has as well. And then, right, this is the kicker. He says, the points are on a cross-section of the Earth, which is a 2D plane. The points are on a 2D plane.
I don't understand. I cannot imagine in my head what he is talking about, because only these 3 points can create a vertical plane, so-called vertical plane, in their model.
But they can't have that, can they?
And this triangle would be inside the sphere. Because if he's saying that 3 points are on circumference of the circle or sphere, it means that this triangle is inside. But Jesse Kozlowski didn't go inside of Earth, and he didn't measure anything inside Earth. So I don't know. 2 points were at the ends, both ends of this. Let's say they are on the surface of the Earth, but the third in the middle is in the air. So he
just in the middle of the bridge.
Yes. So he created vertical triangle.
Well,
let's say on vertical plane.
I don't think so. I think these guys and their conversations have done that, right? He's literally said, any 3 coplanar points that are also not also collinear. He's just talking about a geometric thing about triangles and right, but how can they not be collinear? Blue, he's took a straight line from one end to the other and made it 3 coplanar points. I mean, maybe he was swapping from lane to lane. But if they're coplanar, they're either on a tilted plane, a horizontal plane, or a vertical plane. Do you know which one it is, Blue?
No, it cannot be on vertical plane. Sorry, on horizontal plane.
Why not?
In this depiction, what Jesse Kozłowski did.
It's a 2D plane. And all of the measurements were 5.81 meters all the way across.
Oh, so there is no hump in the middle.
No.
If there is no hump in the middle, then yes, of course.
Yeah. I think this is a trickery of people trying to give you an imagination of a hump. But, I mean, it's 3 coplanar points. Jesse Kozłowski literally said that. And since there's no vertical raise, and i.e. elevation change, a measured change in the vertical, then it can't be on a vertical plane because there was no measured change in the vertical.
Yes, so if he's saying about some curvature or whatever, it is only assumed. It is never shown in calculation. It's just assumed.
Well, I think it's Blue Marble that drew the picture of the hump, and the Blue Marble that said that there was a hump in the middle. That wasn't Jesse Kozłowski. Jesse Kozłowski just drew a few pictures and then did a Jesse Kozłowski and disappeared. Never to have to justify anything. He was just... all you have to do is listen to the sound thing. Go over it. We might have to go over that again. We have done it a couple of times, but we did that one over at Brandon's. That's how long ago we went over that. So for any of you who aren't aware of the things, but Blue Marble's going to explain it all. Anyway, he'll love this. We're doing this for Blue Marble. I bet Blue Marble science is the happiest that not debate with Nathan Oakley and those guys. That they brought this back up again, because I think Blue Marble's an expert. Blue Marble's one of the guys that has actually talked to Jesse Kozłowski, and Jesse Kozłowski has give Blue Marble science a bit of insider information about these straight lines and which orientation the 3 coplanar points are in. Because we all know from the other day how hard it's going to be now for a Blue Marble scientist to understand 3 coplanar points, because they've developed 3 different planes of a triangle. So each one of those points of the 3 coplanar points have their own planes, even though they're said to be coplanar. They've been divided up into separate planes. They've got themselves into a right mess. And I'm hoping to be able to simplify it to explain what a mess they've got themselves into, but they're not going to look at it. We know about ECV. It's too much.
I would say they have also another problem, because if they are insisting that surface of the sphere is 3D, then there is a problem with these 3 planes of each point. Because if we have 3 different planes, it means that we already have a 3D shape, whatever it is. But if we have 3 planes intersecting with each other, it means that we have 3D shape. not 2D. So I think they are killing their own claim that the surface of the sphere is 2D, because it is impossible to have 3 different planes with 3 different points, creating a triangle, let's say, and have 2D sphere. It is impossible. So strange. Why they are doing that now?
Do you like the shape I've got on the GIF? The birth thing. We could call those X, Y, and Z. The idea of them. You know what I call that? What shape would you call that?
What you posted?
Yeah,
now
yeah.
On live chat.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
Figure rotating.
Yeah. I call that a perpendicugon unon. Because it's just all perpendiculars, right? It shows that the X, Y, and the Z are just perpendicular planes. You can orientate them any way you want. But it helps if you orientate one of them either horizontally or vertically. Then you get the understanding of how the X, Y, and the Z. But it's not really a shape because none of the extremities are being enclosed. It's just the planes being perpendicular. Meant to show in the conceptualize, because Blue Marble's in the chat asking us, do we know what the X, Y, and the Z are? The perpendiculars, Blue. Straight lines,
yes.
planes that are all perpendicular to each other. Only possible with 3. There's no room for any more.
They have to be straight, because if someone wants to curve one of these lines, they will be not independent. So one of them would curve into another, let's say, coordinate system. So it would be messy. So they have to be straight.
Yeah, it's understandable that the Blue Marble scientists struggle with this sort of stuff. I mean, this is geometry. The Blue Marble scientists obviously have an aversion to actual geometry. Some reason they have a problem with it. It's too much. The simple understanding of straight lines and planes become a problem, especially when associated with vertical and horizontal. The perpendicularity of these planes of the X, Y, and Z coordinate system, and the perpendicularity of vertical and horizontal. The fact that horizontal is a plane and vertical is a straight line, a dimension of its own, the one dimension, and then horizontal being the plane, the 2. Yes, Blue. X, Y, and Z, they are perpendicular to each other. The X plane, the Y plane, and the Z plane. They are all perpendicular to each other, as depicted within the picture on the screen, the green, the yellow, and the pink. All perpendicular to each other. Dead easy to see, Blue. You could also choose to draw a sphere around those points as well, couldn't you, from the centre? The shape would stay the same. The perpendicugon unon stays exactly the same shape with all of the points intersecting the sphere. And that's how geometry is used. Exactly like he was saying, through the 3 points can be described with a unique circle. All of those points within the perpendicular would be able to explain the sphere, but with straight lines, perpendiculars. Blue, when Jesse decided to do the XYZ coordinates, you do realize what that means, and you do realize that the X, in fact, you could show us the plane with the Jesse's coordinates with one at each end and one in the center. Draw that for us, Blue. Draw us those 3 coplanar points that Jesse talked about. What would that look like, Blue, in your imagination? Yeah, 1 point at each end and 1 point in the middle of the bridge. Yeah. Draw us it out. Let's have a look what it looks like. And you could label, if you could label horizontal and vertical on there as well, then we could definitely be able to see where Jesse measured the difference between the two. Nice. Blue Marble scientists, welcome to Rakia's Bridge in Louisiana. Very close to LIGO. The straightest thing in the universe. So when we're talking about straight, we definitely know what we're talking about when we're talking about straight. Right, Blue? It's in Jesse's video. Why don't you do it? He's had a private conversation to you, Blue. You're the one wanting to give us his coordinates. The XYZ coordinates. I think Blue said that it actually dropped as well. There's a difference in something. I don't know. 24. Is it 24? 23.7 or 24.1. It's been a while since we went over Lake Pontchartrain. I'm glad this has come back again. Blue Marble Science, get ready for it. It's good to have you around, Blue. Promoting Jesse Kozlowski's video, even though Jesse Kozlowski isn't around anymore. He's gone and done a Jesse Kozlowski. Leaving Blue Marble Science in charge of the Blue Marble scientific community. The Blue Marble scientific community has just recently developed the 3 planes of a triangle. Did Jesse use the 3 planes of a triangle with his 3 coplanar points, Blue? I suppose he must have had to, wasn't he?
I was hoping it would be out there on Google today. It wasn't yesterday. It's not today either.
Still not.
Unfortunately, no, nothing. The 3 planes of a triangle.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, no.
They'll do it at some point. They'll get round to it. Blue?
I'm sure.
Do you want me to? I could put it on our website. So if anybody Googles it, they go and find Imaginometry. I could add it in there.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Add it into the Imaginometry page. It's just so when people come to Google, I can reference. Do you want to be referenced at it, Blue? I tell you what, Blue, if you let us know the 3 planes of the 3 coplanar points that Jesse Kozlowski used when you were trying to give us the measurements, then I'll put that on there. Yeah, it's free for all Friday, Genesis, if you want to come in. Or maybe you've been banned. Who knows? I can't remember. Yeah, blue marble science. Scientific community of the blue marble scientists are developing geometric reasoning, developing 3 planes of the triangle. They're trying to rewrite geometry, I think, because I don't think those guys that went mad in the 1800s, I don't think they did it quite good enough. Blue marble science can do it better. Blue marble science, Rumpus, where's Wally? What a team. We'll get going on
Dream
it.
team.
Yeah. Yeah, you thought those guys that were debating Nathan Oakley were something. Well, they've got nothing on these guys. These guys are attempting to beat us at making geometries up, aren't they?
Yeah, don't forget Betty.
Oh, yeah, Betty the logician.
Yeah. You can't forget Betty.
Yeah, shout out Betty. Well, a welcome guy, because he came in because of the logic. And he's come to put some logic into the blue marble scientific method.
Well, they needed it, to be fair.
Yeah, they were lacking some sort of blue marble scientific logic. Some justification for it, anyway.
Logic advisor.
Yeah.
Yes, the logic. Logic advisor.
Or supervisor,
Yeah.
rather.
Sophisticated logical advisor of the blue marble scientists. He's got a well-spoken voice, so, I mean, it fits.
He does sound academic.
Yeah, he's
got to give him
he
that.
says he's been a university teacher, lecturer.
By the way, he is always saying that syllogisms and generally logical statement has to be sound. So he sounds very well. It has to sound very well. Okay.
Fair enough, right?
Not
we
much
have one with
logic, but sounds good.
Yep, yeah.
Where did I see that thing the other day? Was it? I think it might have been this morning.
Yeah, guys, be careful. Be nice with Genesis. It's late Friday night, maybe even early Saturday morning where he is. I mean, you know, he's probably had a few, so it's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's saying at this point.
No.
Oh. I'm pretty sure it was a conversation on my thingy feed from this morning. Mountain peaks. 3 coplanar points. Might have been with Mike, you know. Where is that Betty stuff? I'm not getting it. It's not. I think Mike was talking to Betty about something, and they were having a conversation about this might be it in here. Mike's been going mad with them. All props to you, Mike.
Yeah, wasn't it? I heard the blue marble scientists were practically begging him
to go in there. Yeah,
to go in there and speak.
Oh, he was what they were doing. They were making up a difference between, you know, if A equals B, B equals C. then A equals C. But I can't find it. Right, do you like this? This was another one. We will get some more of these. I've highlighted these bits here. It says that the base shape, we cut that top bit off. He said that the base shape of the Earth is flat. He said that, I said that, and I said the Earth's not flat. All horizontals being parallel is a provable geometric fact. It does not follow from that geometric fact that you conclude the Earth to be flat. Please do not attempt to push your paralogisms on me, right? Got nothing to do with the shape of the Earth, vertical and horizontal, and them being perpendicular. So this is Stefan Mudd. He says, shout out Stefan, Blue Marble Scientist, White Knighter. He says, yes, any horizontal established by the same vertical will be parallel to any other horizontal established from the same vertical. Nobody is denying that. So as you'd imagine, vertical, horizontal, perpendicular. All of the perpendiculars to the horizontal, to the vertical, they will all be horizontal and parallel. He says no one is denying that. But, this is where he comes, there's always a but. But, as we have empirical measurements giving evidence verticals diverging on Earth, no two verticals will establish parallel horizontals. Even though you've just established parallel horizontals with one vertical. He says no two verticals will establish parallel horizontals, but surely you could, just like you can with the vertical, establish horizontals, and on the horizontal you can establish verticals. And that's how you set up a grid formation. So he says, so how is it, Bev? This is Stefan. Do horizontals established by different verticals separated by distance on Earth, end up being parallel to each other? Yes or no? Anyone else want to have a go at that? Still going along with all of Stefan's things, that any horizontal established by the same vertical will be parallel to any other horizontal. So parallel horizontals are possible. And all you need to establish parallel horizontals is one vertical. He says no one's denying that. But adding, as we have empirical measurements, he says, this is Stefan Mudd saying, he has empirical measurements giving evidence verticals diverging. No two verticals will establish parallel horizontals, yet one vertical will establish parallel horizontals. So why is there a need for another vertical to not establish parallel horizontals? One vertical does it.
This is nonsense.
Yeah.
Because, if the verticals diverge, then you cannot have parallel. You can have parallel horizontals, but only on this one vertical datum, let's say. But on
they're
other...
perpendicular. If you can do it on the vertical, then you can do it on the horizontal, just the same.
That should be that way, but he's messing up things. So
reciprocal Zenith, don't prove me wrong, Blue. I'm just saying vertical and horizontal are perpendicular. I understand the geometric principles of that. Measuring an angle from each end of a straight line doesn't prove that horizontals aren't parallel, Blue. I'm sorry. Sorry you feel like that. It's crazy.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hey,
mind if I
Charles.
jump in?
Bringing in
How
some
you doing?
math.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could jump in because it seems like there's a couple misconceptions. For example, and you've stated this, one vertical could have infinite parallels, infinite parallel horizontals. But when he was saying that there's two, you can't have two verticals, meaning two verticals on Earth, that would have parallel horizontals. He's talking about, a horizontal
Forget about
established
Earth
form.
for a second.
I'm sorry?
Just forget about the Earth for a second and talk about the vertical and horizontals.
No, well, but you can't, because horizontal and vertical are defined
yeah, you can.
in reality.
Yeah.
They're not geometric concepts.
Yeah, horizontal. No, right, wait a minute, Rob. Horizontal is defined as being parallel to the plane of the horizon, right?
Right, which depends
Okay,
on the
so
shape of the Earth.
There's the
'Cause
definition.
The horizon on a flat, on a flat Earth or pizza shaped Earth, the horizon is consistently horizontal, whereas on a globe the horizon is dependent on where you're standing.
But in the
point I'm trying to
dictionary
make-
and within mathematics, all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon.
No, not within mathematics.
What?
It's his definition in dictionary. Sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, things have many definitions, but
not
you know, it's not-
horizontal.
it's not
Horizontal
possible
has
to use-
one definition. That's parallel to the plane of the horizon.
Yeah, and the plane of the horizon that they're talking about is on a spherical Earth, and that plane
There's
passes
no
beneath
planes
your
on the
feet.
spherical Earth. Don't be silly.
No, you can intersect a plane with a sphere. That's exactly what the plane of the horizon is. It's the
You can
intersection.
intersect a plane with a sphere.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Yes, that's well, so your viewpoint while standing on a sphere, your viewpoint forms a cone around you, and that cone intersecting the sphere will produce a circle, and a circle is a set of coplanar points. So, but that plane, so whenever you read it,
So
a definition,
you mean the circle? The Euclidean circle is
The Euclidean
an
circle.
actual circle with
It's a
straight
two-dimensional
lines on it. It's a 2D. Yeah.
well, I'm not going to say anything about straight lines, but I'm just saying the plane of the horizon.
Well, 2D is
the
straight
plane.
lines, right? That's
The
the
plane-
no, wait, don't just
Straight
skip
lines are
over it.
1D. Straight lines are
Yes,
one
but
dimension.
all of the straight lines lie within the plane.
What straight lines are we talking about?
All of them. Put any
No,
2
in 3D
points
in 3D
anywhere,
space,
any 2
all
points
lines,
anywhere, math, any 2 points anywhere on a plane, the straight line will lie between
right.
those 2 points. Therefore,
I just
all of the points and any point on the plane will be connected by straight lines. Therefore, all of the straight lines lie within the plane.
Okay, but is this the plane of the horizon that you're talking about? Because I don't understand where these straight lines are coming from.
Just the geometric
Yes,
plane.
I get what you're
So
saying.
we've got the understanding of a geometric plane.
Right, but I don't understand where these straight lines are coming into the bearing of
The
plane of
horizontal,
the
it's the
horizon.
definition of horizontal. All horizontals, every one of them, will be parallel to the plane of the horizon.
which depends on where you're standing. So,
But they
it doesn't
all,
say-
doesn't
it
matter
doesn't
where
say
you're
all of
standing,
them
they will
worldwide.
all still be parallel to the plane of the horizon, will they not?
Yeah, that's not correct.
That's wow.
Provably.
Yeah,
provably
let's
not
see
correct,
one.
Which is dependent
Let's see.
on the
Let's
shape
see
of the
one. Let's show us the black swan, the horizontal
Well-
that isn't parallel to the plane of the
Well-
horizon. Please.
So the thing is, how do you establish a horizontal, and can you measure the difference between one horizontal and another horizontal that's 100 miles away? And the answer is practically no. So you use other means to determine that the Earth is not shaped like a pizza, that it is shaped like a basketball, and then therefore horizontal planes are at angles to each other.
Why are you
Horizontal planes
so
face
obsessed
a different
about the shape of something? We're talking
It
about
always goes to the shape,
horizontal and vertical. Come on,
So
math.
if you have little army men, in fact, you know, the thing is, I talked to my
Charles,
wife about this,
second.
and like she, you know, her forehead is now red from her
Wait a
smacking
second, I have
herself
objection.
so hard. And she's like, just look at a ball. Like we've got a bunch of balls for our kids in the corner of our kitchen, and she's like, just
You're doing
look
it
at a
again,
ball.
math. You're rambling. You're looking at balls. We're talking about straight lines and planes.
Yes,
Charles, I have objection to your example. You said that this circle you created on the surface of the sphere.
Not on
it-
the surface. It intersects the surface.
Yes, so it means that this horizon is beneath the sphere. So
the plane of the
doesn't
horizon is
make
beneath your
any
feet.
sense. How horizon can be under Earth?
No, the horizon's not under the Earth. The horizon is a line, like 3 miles away. If you're standing with your toes touching the water, the horizon line is about 3 miles away. 6 foot observer height. So draw a circle. Draw a circle on a sphere that's roughly 3 miles in radius.
How do you get 3 miles away to an apparent position?
You cannot
I mean, it's,
create
8
circles.
inches per mile squared. It's all in the math of the curvature of the Earth. But to answer his question, if you have a circle drawn on the surface of a sphere, well, that circle is a 2D shape. It's in a plane.
No, it is not. You are
A
wrong.
circle is a 2D shape.
Yeah,
Yes,
a
but you
circle
cannot-
is.
A circle.
Yes, but you
A
cannot
circle
create
is
circle.
in a plane, right?
You
A
cannot
circle can be
create
contained in a
circle.
plane.
You cannot create circle on the surface of the sphere.
You could draw a circle on the surface of the sphere. Anybody
How?
can do that with
How?
a ball and a
How do you do that, Math? Tell us the procedure of drawing a circle on the surface of a sphere. Tell us.
So you know what a compass is, right? Like the little thing with a pencil on one end and
Okay.
a point at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other.
I'm with you.
Right? Some people call them
Yep.
compasses, but I call it a compass.
Yeah.
All right. So you just take a ball, a
You
beach
stretch
ball,
it out.
basketball.
You stretch
and
it out to
stretch it
show
out.
the
You have like a
the
marker.
radius.
Right. It's not. It's going to be a.
But
a
it's
great
not going to
circle
be a radius
but
of the circle, is it?
It's no.
No. So it's not a
It's gonna be
circle,
a
then, is
great
it,
circle.
Math?
It's
not. It's not a circle, is it?
Oh my goodness. It's not going to be a planar radius. It's going to be a great circle radius. But regardless of how you draw
It's going to be a
like,
great
regardless of how you-
circle radius.
What's the
Come
pin?
on. You don't even
What's
know
the
what you're
pin?
talking about, Math.
Oh my god! Because you keep interrupting me. Oh my goodness! Put a pin, the pin side of the compass on this, the ball. Let's say
Yeah.
a basketball, so it's kind of tough. You're
Yeah,
not
so
gonna
it's
pop
not a
it.
radius.
And then trace a circle.
It's not the radius for the circle,
It doesn't matter.
is it?
Doesn't-
It
no one-
does
no one
matter.
says- you could draw a circle and not have.
It's not a
ruler
circle.
up to it saying it
It's
is a
not
circle.
a circle.
No,
It is a
you-
circle.
you-
It is one-
It's
it
not
is
a circle.
100% a circle.
You created slice of the sphere and this like conical like shape.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a slice of a
Okay,
sphere.
okay,
So-
okay.
It's
Wait
a
second.
yarmulke.
So the bottom of
It's exactly what it is. It's a
so
yarmulke.
the bottom of this
Yarmulkes are not circles, you dipshit.
The rim of a yarmulke is a circle. Okay.
the bottom of this figure, solid figure you created is circle, but the rest of the surface, the second surface, is a slice of the sphere. So you
Sure,
have two
but we're not
surfaces.
talking about that. We're only
Yes,
talking
we
about
are
the rim
talking
of the
about that.
yarmulke,
Yes,
which is a circle.
we are talking.
No, the
That's-
rim
was
of a
impossible.
yarmulke is a circumference of a circle that would be inside the base of the yarmulke.
Oh my
You're
goodness
so
gracious.
stupid. You don't know the difference between a circle and a circumference. Are they the same?
He is claiming to be a math, right? That's mathematician, right? Isn't
It's
it?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable that he teaches children. Is a circle a circumference? Can you explain to me, is a circle a circumference?
Well, one is a geometric shape and the other
Is a circle a circumference? Yes or no?
No, but
There you go.
Excellent.
What is the
Thank you.
description
We're
of
done.
geometric
I'm done.
shape?
Thank you.
And
I'm
one
done.
is a.
You're
Okay,
done.
If you're done, then you can stop talking. Okay, so then I can start because you said you were done. So
You just
You're
said
done, he said.
no. We're done. You're
No,
done.
you said-
You're done. It's not a
So you're
circle.
literally
You just
gonna shout
admitted it.
down
You literally
you
just
don't
admitted it.
understand.
You literally just admitted it, and you're too ashamed to admit it again.
So you're not
Is
gonna
a
stop
circumference a circle? Is a
You're literally
circumference
gonna
a
shout
circle?
me down.
Is a circumference a circle?
That's very interesting that you're not.
It is
willing to
interesting,
even
Charles.
listen to hear what
It
I have to say.
is. It's what's really interesting is that you just said a circumference is not a circle. Did you not?
I'll wait till you're done.
Great. So when you said a circumference is not a circle, did you mean that the circumference is not the circle?
Am I allowed to respond? Or are we going to interrupt?
Yes or no?
So,
Simple
we're not-
one-word answer. Not so.
see.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll pass on this one because yes, whenever one person insists on a yes or no answer, that means they're really not interested in information.
It's a circle, Matt. Come on.
Or they're not interested in sophistry. That's another thing they might not be interested in.
Like when you're in a court of law and the lawyer's like, yes or no, did you touch this person? And it's like, yeah, he touched him.
What's wrong with this
dude? Whoa.
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
Wow, Charles.
He's not talking about...
Anything going on with the students, Charles? Anything you want to share?
He might be talking about other
circle is a
people in the community. You know?
Well, wait a minute now. Let's remind everybody, these are globe Earth science people. We know what we've all experienced.
He may come disguised as a flat earther within the flat earth mathematics, but
does it have anything to do with your wife's red forehead? Maybe she was screaming at you for talking to flat earthers.
Oh my goodness,
or
those are amazing.
Or Bev Screw.
His name is Flat Earth, Rob. What are you talking about?
And then you wonder why some people exit the debate.
I'm sorry.
What
Yeah,
debate?
because
it's not a debate.
This is not a
Because
debate.
you can't get a straight answer from somebody. You can't get a straight answer.
So the straight
even
answer
after they've given you,
Trying to come
after
to
they've given you
terms.
the straight answer. And the straight answer was no, circumference is not a circle. And now he wants to obfuscate and create sophistry around it. Here he goes. Watch, he's doing it right now.
Go on, let's give him a chance to then. Go on, Matt. Do your best.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to speak without continual interruption. That's awesome. A circle is a geometric shape.
Mm-hmm.
You can measure the circumference. So the circumference is the measurement around a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So the two technically are not exactly the same, but they're, practically very, very closely related because it's just a matter of putting a tape measure around a circle, then you get the circumference. But no, technically a circumference is not a circle.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever measured the circumference?
Of course. I mean, I've been a geometry teacher, been a math teacher for years, of course, and you could do it. You could roll the circle along a tabletop and measure it that way. There's lots of ways of measuring it. But the point that you were making,
Could you do that with Could you do that with the shape that you just made?
The point that you were making was that you cannot draw a circle on a sphere. And the answer is yes, you can draw a circle on a sphere, regardless of if you know the radius.
No, I disagree. Right? Circumference, not circle.
Which is
not circle.
So
this is
it's
the difference.
Geometric shape.
No.
Draw a circumference.
Take a plane.
Absolutely
and
not.
intersect it with a sphere. And what
Charles,
shape?
you are
what shape is
wrong.
that intersection point?
Hey, we're starting to overtalk each other. Paper,
Okay,
can
I'll
you
stop.
finish what you're gonna say? Because he just overtalked you completely.
Flat Earth, you are mistaken because circumference has length and circle has area. The same with square.
What
Border
of
contradiction? Wait a second. Border of the square is a line, and line has length, but square has area. So
yes, I agree with everything you've said.
So that's why it means that circumference cannot be a circle.
That's why I said a circumference is not a circle. Yeah, I don't know if you were listening to me. I said a circumference is not a circle.
Okay, so we're done.
Wait a minute, please, math, please. This is why we have to state, you cannot draw a circle on a sphere because a circle is involving a radius and a diameter, and you cannot do that to the circle on a sphere. You need a plane for a circle. It's a necessity.
Well, I mean, yes, you do, but you don't.
Thank you very much.
In the plane.
So you agree with us that you cannot draw a circle on a sphere.
This is Euclidean. So, let's just.
Do you agree with us, math, please? Now that we've come to the terms that you cannot draw a circle on a sphere because you cannot place the center point where you require it to be on a sphere.
That's irrelevant.
It's not.
The circle is a mathematical.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's the sophistry.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
So let me approach it a different way. All right, using Euclidean
no need to.
geometry.
You've already conceded.
You've just told us, Math. You are being dishonest. You do not know what a circle is, and you're imagining a circle can be drawn on the surface of a sphere. when you know that the radius that you describe with the compass doesn't give you the radius of the circle
No one
that
said
you're
it was.
drawing. Yes,
No one
you
said
saying
the
it's a
radius.
circle, you fucking dick. You are saying we're saying it's not.
Okay.
So you do agree that it's not a circle then, right?
Can we go back to Euclid? So if
You call yourself a teacher?
If you have two planes, right? Two planes and you intersect them, what geometric shape is formed when you intersect two planes? Everybody knows, right?
A shape.
What shape do you get? What shape do you get when you intersect two planes?
You
what
get
shape
an
is describing-
angle. It's not a fucking shape.
Well, the shape is called a line. When you intersect two planes, you form
A line is
set of
not a
all
shape,
points.
you tit. Holy shit, flat earth math. You are fucking terrible. Are you actually a teacher? A flat earth teacher?
Scary.
This is
That's
Euclidean.
fucking,
I
this
don't
is
know which
really
chapter
scary,
it
this,
is.
mate.
Yeah, it is. It's very scary.
So are you telling me that if you looked up in Euclid, when you intersect two planes, it's not going to say it's a line?
Is it
It's
going to
a
say a
line.
line's a
It's
shape?
It's a line.
Shape.
Okay. Now
It's not going to say it's a shape.
Oh my goodness gracious! You guys are obsessed about.
You said
No,
it was a
you
shape.
said it. Holy shit, man.
So if you intersect two planes, you get a line. If you intersect a sphere and a plane, you get a circle. Period. That's Euclidean. That's absolutely
No.
Euclidean.
The circle can be on the plane, but it's not on the sphere.
Oh my goodness! It's the set
Oh
of
my goodness,
intersection
yeah.
points.
The plane, you dipshit. The plane. You said it yourself.
So it's the intersection of the two. So in other words, every point that I'm talking
the
about
plane is the circle.
both
The
on
circle
the sphere,
is on a plane.
on
The
a sphere,
circle is
and
a
on a plane.
planar shape.
Oh, can we
It
just
is
go
on
over this?
the plane.
I've got a clip here from Blue Marble Science.
Oh my goodness.
Let me just get this, and then you can go over it, right? And I'm pretty sure we did this the other day. It might have been with Wiggles, though. I don't know. It seems fitting that you should go over this. Can you remember Ruhif touted you as one of the top geometers for the globe?
I cannot claim that mantle, but I.
Well, good. Yeah, because
It's a
you
nice
shit
compliment.
at Euclidean. I don't
Oh
know
my
how you
goodness.
do imaginometry.
It's the
Right.
set of
So
intersection points.
Blue Marble says a circle is a plane figure bounded by one curved line, and such that all straight lines drawn from a certain point within it to the bounding line are equal. And then he's wrote the bounding line. I don't know. But okay, they're equal. So where you place your pointy bit of the compass to where you put the circle, right? Are they equal? Are all of the straight lines from where you place your pointy bit to the line that you draw, the circumference? Are they equal?
Well, if you made straight lines, yeah, it would be a cone, but there are no straight lines involved.
Would be
because
a
we're talking about
cone.
great circles.
It would be a cone, did you say?
So
Is a
I think
cone
what
a
you're
plane
doing is you're
figure?
saying if
Math.
A, if A
Is a
then B.
is a cone a plane figure?
Well, no.
No. Okay.
all
So
the
when
lines
Blue
drawn
Marble's
from
writing in here in the
point to
chat
cone
for you,
to the
Math.
circumference of the cone.
Yeah, Blue Marble's trying to help you out here, right? He's quoting it. I'm quoting Blue Marble here. He says, a circle is a plane figure bounded by one curved line, and such that all straight lines drawn from a certain point within it to the bounding line are equal. Now, you've just said that where you placed your point and drew the circumference, they are equal, but they form a cone. And I asked you if a cone was a plane figure, and you said not. So obviously, by your own definition, it does not fit the thing that Blue has put in there for a circle.
So I think the problem that we're having
Is it Blue's having the problem?
Is that we can draw a circle multiple ways. One of the ways is to use a compass on a sheet of paper on a table, and then you pull the pointy bit and the pencil apart, and that forms your radius on a flat sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Another
That's a
way
typical
of forming
radius
a circle,
for a circle, isn't it?
Another way of forming a circle,
Uh-huh.
the pointy bit and the pencil are not the radius, but you still stick the pointy bit on the wall, and you draw a circle. The pointy bit is not the center of the circle, so therefore the distance between the pointy bit and the pencil is not the radius, but you're still drawing a circle. You're still drawing a circle.
Yeah. Do you is that something you teach?
No, I don't tend to teach.
You don't teach that
geometry.
shit. No.
But
You just
I
come in
think it's
here and
very
talk to
interesting.
adults
Not a
about your
circle, though.
bullshit.
Still not a circle.
Yeah. Anyone can look up in Euclid what's the intersection between a plane and a sphere, and that shape.
Are we
called a
clear
circle.
now, though, what a circle is? Like, I know most of us in here understand exactly what a circle is. Are we talking about the same thing now?
So, exactly what blue marble science defined, but that is not the only way you can draw it.
A circle is a plane figure, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When you intersect a plane and a sphere, you're going to get a circle.
What?
When you intersect a
On the
plane
plane.
and a sphere, you're going to get a circle.
On the plane.
Right, and also on the sphere. It's the
Right.
set of
No.
intersection
No.
points. They belong to both.
No, just on the plane. No, just
Oh
on
my
the plane.
goodness. You know what an intersection
Oh my
means?
goodness. Oh my goodness, because the center is not on the sphere, nor
No,
is
that's
the
not a
radius.
prerequisite.
Oh,
That's
it
not a
is.
prerequisite.
A
No, it's not.
is a circumference a circle? Is a circumference
He might be
a circle?
talking. He might be talking about a spherical cap, the base of a spherical cap, a conical
Do you know what the
spherical
word
cap.
intersection means?
Do you know what the word circumference means?
Notice you're not answering my question.
Do you know what the word circumference means?
Just
I've
starting off
already
with the
defined
yes,
it, so
Mike.
you're
Just
not
say
really
yes.
being
Yeah,
helpful.
so you know that it's not a circle.
A circumference is not a circle. That's correct.
Correct.
Jolly
But
good.
if you
It's
do
a
you
We're
line.
know
done.
what
It's
intersection
over.
So you didn't draw a
You-
circle.
He did the
That's what
but
intersection-
afterwards, though. Did you not hear it? He did say but
So-
after he
so
agreed. He
intersection-
went
Oh,
but.
Intersection,
it's
you can
such
think of-
sophistry.
you can
Why
think of,
why
like, the
stick
Venn
with this
diagram.
point?
So hang on a second.
But,
Let me finish what's actually happening here. Yeah, the but came. So but your argument, Mike, is devastating to my globe. I can't have it. So but carry on.
But yeah. But now comes the
Carry
sophistry.
on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
But
So
let me make some stuff up.
Yeah, let
me try to
let
wiggle out
everybody
of it.
hear the but, though,
Is that
right?
Mike Jones.
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
been
go do the
shouting?
but.
Oh, Mike Jones.
Tell
is
us the
shouting
not
out.
that.
Okay.
Go on.
So
Hey dude, I'm in my car.
so the word
I'm not sitting at a desk. I don't have a nice little microphone in front of me. Chill.
So the word intersection means things that are in common. You could do the old Venn diagram where you've got
Yeah, the plane
a hero
is
you've got
not
a
in
hero
common
on
with
one
the
circle,
surface
you
of
got
the
a villain
sphere.
in the other circle, and where they intersect is they're both strong and they're both intelligent. But the intersection means what do
Oh
they
my
have?
God.
What do they have
Oh
in
my
common?
God.
And so when
They
you
don't have a
intersect-
surface in common.
This is the geometric definition of
Strong,
intersection. When you
intelligent
intersect
circle.
a plane.
Where?
and a
Which
sphere,
geometric definition of intersection? Where's that?
When you intersect a plane.
Can you tell
and
us
a
where we can cite the definition, the geometric definition of intersection? It's not
when
in my
you
book.
intersect a plane and a sphere, and you find all the points that are in common, which means a point that exists
Which book's
simultaneously on the plane and on the sphere. That's what intersection is. A set of
Which-
all points that are actually on the sphere and simultaneously
Oh,
they're on
you
the plane.
clapping?
That's the set of intersection points. I'm clapping.
Yeah.
And you will find
and
that
that
the
you- and that's a
circle
circle.
is
That's a
not in common with all of those points.
Yeah.
But that is a circle.
No, you will find that the circle has all of its points in intersection with the plane, on top of the plane.
All of the
You will
straight
find
lines.
that the
Points are in
circumference,
the plane. The points are on the sphere. They're intersection. They're on both.
no, the radius
On
of the
both.
circle is not in the sphere.
I
The center
never
of the
said
circle
never said
is
radius. Never said
well,
radius.
the radius part of a circle.
No.
What?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I nearly choked.
Have you
Holy
have you told him
shit!
about
You guys
pi
need to
yet?
learn. Then you guys need to learn about geometry. The radius is
Oh,
important.
my God!
So radius.
Oh my God!
So good.
So radius.
Oh, this is
radius-
Don't
holy
lose
shit,
it,
this guy
guys. Come on,
teaches
this is
children.
this is
Good. Quote
genius.
me.
Don't
You can
lose
take
it.
that to the
Oh
bank.
my
Radius is
Charles,
God.
not
you,
part of a
you
circle.
just
A
said
radius is not part of a circle.
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead. Google
2023.
circle. Google circle
2023.
and tell me how many of them have a radius, and you'll
flip
find
side
some
this
that
shit.
have the radius drawn.
All of them have a radius.
Oh my
Every
goodness gracious.
circle has a radius.
Actually,
Drawn,
he might be saying that within Euclid, the radius wasn't mentioned. It was the diameter.
radius
That's
is a
why
straight
pi
line.
is the relationship of the diameter, because there is no radius mentioned. Because the center, although it says within the definition, all points equal from a center point or from a point. The actual diameter is the thing that's mentioned as the straight line, isn't it?
Yeah,
They'll
and
say-
the straight line is not part of a circle, right? There's no
Yeah,
word
yeah.
of a
The
definition.
diameter.
Mentions a straight line.
Have you heard of pi?
The definition of a circle.
Have you heard of pi?
Is the curved line. So you can't say the radius.
No, that's
The
not
radius
the
is a straight
definition
line,
of
the
a
diameter is
circle,
a
for
straight
fuck's
line.
sake.
No, that's not a
That's
definition.
terrible.
Yeah,
Do you want to hear the definition of a circle? Do you teach children any of this stuff? Do you teach children mathematics?
I do.
Geometry.
I'm currently teaching statistics and computer
Oh,
science.
oh my goodness. I can't believe this. It's so sad.
Okay, well, I'm just looking up here now, the definition of a circle. I did look in book 3, but then I realised that'd be fucking ridiculous, wouldn't it? Because the definitions are in book 1, aren't they? Definition of a circle. A circle is a plane figure. It's pretty much similar to Blue's one, right? Contained by one line, which is called the circumference. And it is such that all straight lines drawn from a certain point within the figure to the circumference are equal to one another. Sort of implies the radius, but doesn't mention the radius and doesn't name the radius.
And you can also...
And this point, this is the next one, right? Because it defines this first, and then it says, and this point is called the center of the circle, right? The point where all of the straight lines. And then it says, 17, a diameter of a circle is a straight line drawn through the center and terminated both ways by the circumference.
Agreed. Yes, this is all basic geometry.
Okay.
It means that this center
just
point
conceded.
divides diameter into two parts. and,
Equals.
It equals.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here's
radian.
the thought. If you have a right circular cone, meaning that the base of the cone is a perfect circle.
We're on to cones now.
A right cone.
Well, no, meaning that it's not skew. The base of the cone, like an ice cream cone, right? So
Hey,
the
mathematically speaking,
cone,
are you talking about?
Absolutely. The pointy part of the cone, would you say that the pointy part of the cone is equidistant from the circle that is formed at the end of the cone?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
thank you for letting us know the pointy part of the cone is not on the circle.
Yeah.
It's
So
at a distance from the circle.
Yeah.
So therefore,
there
you
can't draw a circle on the surface of a sphere.
Finish my sentence, please. Let me finish my sentence. Therefore, you can have a point that is equidistant from all parts of that circle.
Yeah.
And that point is not necessarily a center.
I think we explained that to you at the beginning. That was why we said you cannot have a circle, right? For that very fact.
No, absolutely no.
Because that's not a circle like you've just explained. It's a cone.
Oh, you know what? I gotta go. I told my wife that when the food got here, she was flash the lights.
Yeah,
but so
thanks.
I gotta go.
Thanks for coming and explaining your flat Earth
mathematics. Play this back to her.
Right?
Play this back to her. I'll play it to my wife.
Between a plane and a sphere, and tell me what shape
Yeah.
you get. But I gotta
on
go.
the
Bev.
plane.
Thank you so
The
much.
shape will be
for
on the
letting me
plane.
speak to
Thanks.
you guys. All right.
All right.
Thank
Thanks.
you very much.
Bye.
All right, have a good night.
Yeah,
You're
thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thanks for conceding.
Yeah, I think most of the shapes are planar shapes, aren't they? Like, the ones that you think of immediately, right? Square, triangle, circle, hexagon, pentagon. They're all planar figures, aren't they?
Yes, but cone or section or slice of the sphere or half of the sphere is 3D solid object. Sorry, and this 3D solid object is has two surfaces. One circle, and the second is half of the sphere. It's so two surfaces, one curved surface and one plane.
Yeah, but he did make it into a cone, so he did straighten the sides, didn't he?
That was amazing to listen to. Just truly amazing. I was biting my tongue not to jump in. Amazing.
Yeah, I think we had this discussion the other day, right? And in order for you to imagine this, it's easier to imagine a spherical cap, right? Whenever they say the intersection, just slice a little cap off the top and hold it. Say that's what we're looking at, right? This shape, or are we looking at the circle that's left on the thing, or the circle on the underside of the spherical cap?
Yes, and they are trying to equalize both this cap and this circle.
Yeah.
They
want
exist.
you to imagine that they're both the same. There's no difference between the two because they're all dilithiists.
Yeah, but we can see. You can check it. You can slice the orange, for example, and you can see two different surfaces. One plane, and the rest of the sphere is curved, normal.
Guys, I think the blue marble scientists, I think, have the answer. You may want to check the YouTube chat.
I'm just getting it.
Yeah.
This is brilliant.
Awesome.
As chief blue marble scientists, the big blue marble of himself. Big round guy.
Big blue.
Big blue says a circle. This is spherical. A circle in spherical geometry is the intersection of a plane with the sphere. You guys are idiots. Now, he did put it in quotes, so I don't know whether he was saying that or whether he said that you guys are idiots, or that's the response that we're meant to give him, because that bit was what he was saying. But, I mean, there is no spherical geometry, Blue.
None.
So we didn't say that.
No, I didn't. We didn't say
No,
that.
definitely not.
So it must be Blue Marble that's saying it.
Charles
saying
didn't even
that
say
we're
that.
idiots.
So he's quoting himself
You
or
got the
Charles. I don't know.
For spherical geometry?
Pardon?
Spherical geometry's got definitions now?
Oh, well, I don't know. They
I've
might
seen
be
them.
doing them. I mean, we haven't even got a definition of the three planes of a triangle yet.
They keep coming back to the stolen concept of Euclid.
Yeah.
So
they can't stop talking about it. It's really strange that they want to talk about Euclid but not talk about Euclid, because not that. The scientists, the blue marble scientists, it is the science of the not that. So
not that circle, not the one that's well defined in Euclid, not that circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
not that.
A different one, but
a different one.
But we'll have that one, like the concept of that one, but not that.
The problem is that in this slice of the sphere, we have both at the same time. This spherical cap and a real circle. So they have to mix spherical geometry with Euclid geometry. So this is a troublesome, I would say.
They have to do that from the outset. The sphere that they're working on, that's Euclidean. You've already had to have accepted all of the geometric proofs that take you up to book 11. And then you're in book 11, solid geometry, knowing that a sphere is a sphere. Yet, for some reason, these guys want to say, well, yeah, that's sphere, but something different. Not
that.
Not everything that's led me up to this point. Now I'm touching this thing that I know all about. Well, I suppose you don't know all about it. That's why it's easy to give it up. Like, once you've got the ball in your hand, if you treasure that ball enough and have very little understanding of the geometry that's led you up to know what the ball is, then it's pretty easy to give it up and say, not that. But because there's no understanding of the actual geometry to start off with, I suppose it's pretty easy to say not that, but imagine something different than the not that you didn't understand in the first place.
I think you hit it.
It's a
Ben.
cop-out,
Treasuring
isn't
the
it?
ball.
Yeah.
Treasuring the ball. Yeah.
Can I bring up a point that was sort of not touched upon? I feel like it's quite important. That
Yeah,
Matt
please
brought
do.
up.
If we've missed anything, yes.
Yes, because he said, or he asked the question, which is the point at the end of like the conical figure, the top of the cone. Is that point equidistant from the circle? Which, if we backtrack a little bit, he did say that the circumference is not a circle.
Yes.
It's only a part of a circle. It's not actually a circle. It's just the boundary of the two-dimensional figure that is the circle. So the point at the top of the cone is not, in fact, equidistant to the circle. It may be equidistant to the circumference of the circle, but it's not equidistant to the circle. It's different distances from every point along the radius to the circumference. There's a different distance to the top of this cone at each point along the radius. Yes, it's the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle when you have that perpendicular.
Yeah.
So obviously the perpendicular that's erected from the center of the circle to that point on the cone and the hypotenuse that is drawn, that hypotenuse being a hypotenuse is obviously longer than that perpendicular line. So that's bullshit, Charles.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well explained. Does everybody get that? I hope everybody did.
Yes, the shortest would be the height of this cone.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it would be placed in the center of this circle, bottom circle of this cone. That would be the shortest one.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Did he
And
not
the-
also say?
And the longest would be to the circumference. Longest to the circumference and the shortest to the center of the circle. Simple.
Yep. Did he not also say that a sphere does not have a radius?
I don't know.
I think he was saying the circle doesn't have to have a radius.
Yeah, well, within geometry, it doesn't. No, a sphere doesn't have a radius.
Did he say a sphere or a circle? I maybe have missed that one.
I think he said he didn't say radius. It's one of these little catchwords that they say by saying circle, the radius comes along with it. It's part of the circle. So you don't necessarily have to say radius, but the moment you say circle, the radius is there. You are, in fact, actually saying radius because you're talking about the circle, not the circumference. It's a difference.
Wally has something in the YouTube chat.
Yeah. No, there you go. We get that as well. Oh. Yeah, these are the Blue Marble scientists. Oh.
They come here all the time. It's so good.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, guys. And obviously your help is needed for us to develop this explanations of all of these basic facts. So this is Wally in the chat there. He says spherical geometry is not stealing from Euclid. ? He's asking a question. It's not something. It's one of the tactics that the Blue Marble scientists like to use. They like to ask you about the not as a question. It's a well-established Blue Marble scientific. Hopefully, it's meant to leave you in a state of confusion so that they can then continue. So after asking a stupid, nonsensical question about the not, he says, spherical geometry is extending. and improving Euclid and making it more useful for working on a sphere used in navigation and astronomy. What's FYI? For your information. Shouted.
Mm-hmm.
It's extending and improving Euclid with a not.
Is it an improvement to basically throw the axioms in the trash?
Mm-hmm. And not have any set of your own definitions or axioms or
nothing to replace them with, just not that.
Right, just not that. Good, Wally.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Showing us exactly how the blue marble scientific method works. It's just by stating not that. Anything you have a definition for, it's just not that. Like Flat Earth Math was doing with his definition of the horizontal. He said it's just like not parallel with the plane of the horizon within mathematics. It is, but he just says it's not.
Just laugh it off when you ask for the black swan.
Yep.
Practically impossible.
Practically no. That was the answer. Practically no.
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, we've been dealing with this for a bit, gods, and how you actually deal with this. It is possible that you've been taught a paralogism. Now, it could be your parents that have done that. Who knows? But can you imagine living in the household of somebody who's an avid, like Flat Earth Math, right? What must he be teaching his children about this and the way it has to be? Because he's an avid blue marble scientist, right? They have their rules of how it has to be. Now, if you've been taught that by your parents or by a trusted person, you've what we call if you've developed a paralogism. You've somebody has placed an untruth, whereas you've accepted it as a truth. And once you have a untruth truth, it takes quite a bit for you to even initiate looking at it to be able to acknowledge it's even there. It's called cognitive dissonance for a reason. It troubles the mind. It leaves the mind in a state of confusion. And it's how you deal with that confusion that is going to develop where you go once somebody points out a contradiction or a paralogism or whatever.
This is why my observation is that well, let me back up. I can't tell you what Charles teaches his children. I have no idea. But I truly believe what people that are reinforcing these kinds of things for their children, in my opinion, are giving them a deity. They're giving them something to keep hold of with faith and only faith in the light of absolute fact, geometric fact.
Well, look, this is one of the things I've noticed in the past, right? I know these guys have come to hate me, like a vicious hate. But when I say level is horizontal, I can imagine there's loads of parents at home. Well, I don't know whether they are parents or not, but there's a load of people that start screaming. He said level is horizontal. He's a flat earth. He can't have that, right? All of that sort of stuff. And then the geometric implications of the same thing go to this straight line and perpendicular relationship. Now, if they start tying that to their hatred of me and start ranting and screaming while they're at home and their kids are there around listening to it, then they're going to pick that up.
Absolutely.
That's the danger.
You've become the devil
to
their God.
But just speaking about simple geometry, where these guys are injecting their model and Earth for some reason every time, just to try and confuse themselves, right? They're doing it to themselves rather than going with the geometry and the geometric understanding that we've got. Is that a definition? I'm pretty sure. I'll go and I'll get the definition of a sphere for you, Blue. Within Euclidean geometry, or maybe you trust something else. You have a different book of understanding. Is there a book of spherical geometry yet? Do we have one? It says a sphere is a solid figure described by the revolution of a semicircle about its diameter, which remains fixed. Say it again. A sphere is a solid figure described by the revolution of a semicircle about its diameter, which remains fixed. It's interesting, that, isn't it?
So if it has diameter, because of course it has diameter, so therefore it has radius. Same as circle or semicircle. This is the same diameter.
It's an enthymeme, though. You shouldn't be telling them that. Euclid and his enthymemes. He doesn't mention a radius in the first bit either. It just says from a certain point. Because I don't think he meant with a sphere, especially. How do you know where the center is? Can't measure it, can you? So why state it?
I read in this Heath version that they had no word for radius. So they didn't use that. Just it in Greek.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no need for it. It's just the way of forming the circle.
It does, of course, state that all the lines, straight lines drawn from the center of the circle to the circumference are all equal.
Yeah.
Which is practically used for proving a whole bunch of the propositions within the book itself. So it is used, but it's not named.
Yes, I am talking about word.
Yeah.
But the meaning is there.
Yeah.
Like the meaning if you have a compass in your hand, and both ends of this compass, it is distance between these points. It is radius, because you are going to draw a circle. So you have radius already.
Yeah, I think what happened is with Euclid, like once he got to the solid geometry, he then felt confident enough that it's easier to use what you've already described in planar to use within definitional responses. In the the next one, you can build upon it rather than having to redefine the basics. And to describe the sphere as that would be, I don't know. It wouldn't seem right, I don't think. Because you know that you cannot get to that. You can't draw it, can you? From the center point.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, so that's why he defined it differently, because strangely enough, because you know what what it would look like if you fixed the diameter and then
diameter is only axis, but you are rotating circumference.
Fixed an axis though, right?
Pardon?
You fixed an axis.
Yes, fixed axis is diameter, and you are revolving this circumference, and that gives you a surface.
Okay, so how familiar is that with the model? The so-called poles are a fixed axis, aren't they? So the figure that they're talking about within their model, the conception, is this sphere. They've got the problem though that there is no radius. Sorry, I don't know whether you were breaking up then or not.
Yes, but it is problem because also because Euclid is talking about rotation. He is talking about motion.
Yeah.
So revolution of spherical object or circle, semicircle, it has to be that way, and this axis is only because you are establishing a direction of rotation.
Yeah. To make sure that the semicircle does a full rotation about a fixed axis, right? The straight line. The geometric implications of it are like obvious. That's how he, he defines the sphere by using a semicircle, and the semicircle is a half of a circle, so perfect proportionality. And I think it's genius, but I think it's very vivid a picture that you make when you do that. In order to geometrically think about something, well, that picture that you're imagining for that sphere, the very way that you make a sphere is what people imagine as a model, isn't it?
Yes, I didn't think about that in that way.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I like the idea of trying to put a picture in somebody's mind whenever you're thinking about this geometry, because it is easy to do. Once you can picture whatever it is that you're meant to be doing. And now a lot of times you would have practiced this, so you've drawn these circles out and you've drawn your triangles, so you know how they all fit together. But putting these basic things together and getting a good mental picture of what they look like without it being confused by people giving you conflicting things to try and imagine. I think the idea of the revolution of it about an axis is it's too close for comfort. You know, the actual idea of how the definition is made and how easily a model can be accepted. Because the sphere is hardly ever mentioned. Maybe 13. But I don't know whether they're attributed to Euclid or not. Further progressions of spherical trigonometry in the later books. Sorry, waffling. I think it's interesting, though, that where we're going with this, blue marble scientists are struggling with triangles and straight lines and perpendiculars and now circles. The very conception of what you imagine a shape to be is being blue marble sciencified. They're trying to manipulate your thought process to these well-defined shapes as being something that they're going to change, somehow different.
At least we learned from flat Earth math that cone and circle is the same.
Yeah. You can think of them as the same.
Yes, but we have them at the same time in different shape, but still they are the same. So this is just nonsense.
Can I read one thing from Euclid, book 11?
Yeah.
It's definition 18. A cone is a solid figure described by the revolution of a right-angled triangle about one of the sides containing the right angle, which side remains fixed. Just to back up the earlier conversation about the equidistant point of the cone.
Yeah,
Are you saying you need a right triangle to make a cone?
Geometrically, yep.
Mm. It's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? This geometry.
And by the way, if Euclid is talking about revolution of a plane, because in both instances, cone and sphere, we are dealing with revolution of the plane. And if plane is revolving, it means that it is 3D. Just to remind some globbers who say that sphere is 2D. It cannot be, because this is revolution of already 2D plane. So it has to be in the third dimension.
It's interesting also how you have the definitions 15 and 19. 15 saying the axis of a sphere is the fixed straight line about which the semicircle revolves. So the axis is defined as well. And similarly for the cone, the axis of a cone is the fixed straight line about which the triangle revolves.
Those pesky straight lines. Blue Marble's put in here, I think. Is it Blue Marble?
You cannot have a curved axis of rotation. Sorry.
Always Wally says spherical differs from Euclidean geometry in several main ways. 1. There are no parallel lines in spherical geometry. In fact, all great circles there's no straight lines at all, so that's why I've got a problem with that. Yeah, no straight lines, but like the revolution of the semicircle is affixed by a straight line, so there's definitely a straight line in forming this sphere, Wally. And there's no parallel lines in spherical geometry. In fact, all great circles intersect in 2 antipodal points. Circles intersecting, imagine that. On a sphere. No 2 straight lines can enclose a space, or, modern day version, you can do fuck all with an angle.
But if a straight line is the great circle, it definitely encloses the space.
Yeah, well, that would break logic. You can't say if a straight line is a circle.
Yes, of course.
It's not even allowed within the formulation of logic, is it?
Yes, you can. You can make an impossible condition. You can make that, but of course you are landing in absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if you live in flatland?
Well, there's no point for you to even start the conversation with some ridiculous stuff that is obviously an impossibility. I mean, you can say that, but I mean, it would be fruitless for you to do that. You'd have to imagine that your opponent was that stupid that it would be insulting for you to do that, I would say.
Yes, but we are dealing with that
Yeah.
kind of people that these statements has to be made to show them, because they are ignoring absurdity of their claims. So sometimes we should show them absurdity of their claims in that way, to make impossible condition to show absurd, or to reduct into absurd. We are on this low level while talking to them. Sorry, this is sad, but this is reality while talking to Globbers.
I'm not sure I would use the phrase low level, more like to the basics than low level. And also, I
Yes.
want to back up your statement there about like if a straight line is a circle. Remind everyone that our understanding of a circle comes from the definition within Euclid, Book 1, which a circle is actually a planar figure. It's a plane. So saying that a straight line is a circle is saying that a straight line is a plane, which is, of course, absurd, as Paper Organist just stated. So this is like tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff, but words actually have meaning.
Yeah, keep simplifying it, because there's still people who are confused about like why we're still here doing this simple geometry, yet people like Flat Earth Math and Nathan Oakley and Blue Marble Science and Where's Wally, not that they're important people or anything, they are just people, but like there's a lot of people that will be as confused, and if there are people that are still out there confused, then we should be able to simplify it, because it is really simple, isn't it? We're just talking about simple geometry and how you relate that to the understanding of everything, really.
And by the way, my reduction into absurd, this straight line being a circle and whatever, it is a kind of proof a fortiori. It is that kind of name in Latin, a fortiori. It means from the stronger argument, because Euclid says that two lines cannot enclose the space, but in spherical geometry only one can do that. So it is stronger argument for absurdity. So this is called a fortiori argument. I proved greater absurd from this statement than Euclid would, than breaking Euclid. So if someone would say that two lines can enclose the space, that would be absurd. But when someone said that only one line can, straight line can enclose this the space, it would be greater absurd. So this is proof a fortiori, that's called in Latin.
Imagine that, one straight line enclosing space.
Yes, but this is what they say.
Yep.
This is straight line, and this straight line encloses space, making circle. So this is more idiotic than saying that two lines, straight lines, can enclose the space. It is even more idiotic. Idiotic square.
Nice.
Blue Marble's getting confused. You know, like this simple talk of circles and planes and geometric figures that people can understand and into the three-dimensional. It really confuses blue marble science. I don't know whether it confuses all blue marble scientists or just, you know, the lead one, but he's asking about a circle or a line. Says it's a Volkswagen. Don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Axiom 9, right? Axiom 9 stating that the whole is greater than its part, and a circumference is only part of a circle. Just like the radius or diameter is part of a circle, the center point is part of, you know, the circle is all of these things. Circumference is only part of, and the whole, being the circle, is greater than its part. Part in this example being circumference. They are not the same thing.
Yes, this is axiom of reasoning. First principle of reasoning, that part is not a whole. This is one of the laws of identity.
There you go, Paper. Did you see this in the chat?
Wait a second. Where is Wally?
Yep.
Give me time to process that.
Yeah. Tell Paper that it is not absurd just because it extends and improves Euclid. There is a reason why it is called non-Euclidean. One line encloses a space, but only in spherical geometry. One line?
One line, yeah. So he missed the point. The point is one straight line. That's what we were actually talking about, Wally. One line, even the circumference of a circle is called a line. And obviously, the circumference is the boundary of the circle. So the circumference does in fact enclose a space, but it's not a straight line. Well, the point of our conversation.
Yes, they claim that this circumference is a straight line.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, I think that's what Wally's saying. He's saying it only in spherical geometry, right?
Yes, but he's
making
omitting
special
straight
condition.
line.
Yeah, no,
omitting.
he's making a special condition for something that doesn't actually exist anyway. So it's only within his mind, right?
But still, he's smart because he's
not
saying
smart.
one line, not one straight line, one line. So to be not caught on a lie.
And the fact that he put Euclidean.
Yes.
Yeah. Obvious. They always make spelling mistakes like that. Smart enough to know that it would be a lie were he to state it the other way. The way he should. So the blue marble scientists within their blue marble scientific method purposely leave things out that they don't like saying. Try and let you imagine that they've said it when they just imply it. Never actually say it.
Yep, and if interrogated, they will say, no, I didn't wrote that.
I never said that. Yeah.
Never said. You just overinterpreted. Old school. I would say Voltairean school. This is one of Voltaire's advices to, let's say, 18th century sophists and Freemasons.
Yeah,
long-standing
techniques.
Yes, so I didn't say that. Put hands up, hands up. I give up. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yep, definitely one of the blue marble scientific methods of confusion and contradiction, self-contradiction. Yeah, he said, but Wally's now saying he left out straight. because of the character limit. So he did actually mean straight. Wally actually thinks that, like an orbit, you can have a straight line that returns back on itself.
This is very, very, very interesting, because it means that in their model, Earth is revolving around Sun in straight line.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Flat Earth Math said that he did it as well. He did the shadow, and the prediction for the globe was a straight line, and that's what he got. So therefore, globe. Straight lines are everywhere. Within their, within their thoughts. Can't get away from it. They even imagine the sphere is 2D, don't they?
Yes, that's why they confuse a circle with a sphere.
Yeah, because they literally imagine 2D surfaces. You know what that makes them. But I mean, hey, while the flat earthers are busy arguing about a model, they can imagine that they live on a 2D surface and get away with it. I think it's fantastic. Later, Gadget. Thank you very much for joining. 33 people watching.
I am off to bed too. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. See you later. It's Free for All Friday. Thanks, Math. Flat Earth Math, for coming in and having a chat, explaining about his ridiculous ideas about circles and spheres and whatever. Encloses a space. What space does it enclose? This one line. Doesn't enclose a Euclidean planar space, does it? Just got deeper, right? Spherical geometry. What's the space that the line has to enclose? Since perpendicular to vertical is horizontal. Which is this straight line? Which one are we talking about? Everybody knows horizontal to be a straight line. So which is the straight line, do you reckon, that Wally imagines to be enclosed in a space? How would you picture that space? Oh, right. Is that why Math came in? I think Blue Marble's recording Jackass. He's going to get his oven mitts on Gladys. I don't know what he does to that to get the noises out of Gladys. It's great, Blue. Fantastic. I hope you get a series out of it and you do Blue Marble Scientific Geometry. Blue Marble Science Geometry. Spherical. Blue Marble Science does spherical geometry. You could start off by giving us the definitions of everything. Laying out the axioms that you're going to be using when you go through it. I bet it'd always start off with, well, draw a circle. imagine it differently. Like, that's what they could do with. You could always go with that approach, right? Just, if you just go with everyone and go, teach people vertical and horizontal, then after you do it, you go, well, yeah, not that. Because that's the only way. And then here we go, is we draw a circle like this, and this is a circle with this and that, but not that. And a square. Square's a side with equal sides of parallel, opposite sides of parallel, and diagonals are equal, and they intersect perpendicularly, but not that. Obviously, we're not allowed that, because you can't have that. So, next, what's next within our lesson? Blue Marble Science. Come to the Blue Marble Science lesson, and we'll tell you all about the not that.
If that would be like a thorough one where it starts off from first principles and all of that, I would attend that.
Yeah. Yeah, we could perhaps develop it, right, as a lecture. We could do a Blue Marble scientific lecture where we start off the first principles of scientifically explaining the Blue Marble scientific method. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to each other. Yeah? Anybody think of any reason why they're not that? You'd struggle with some of them, wouldn't you?
Your modus ponendo tollens comes to mind there with the circle and the sphere, which, so no, axiom 1 must go.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you could find a way to reducto ad absurdum the entirety of geometry, like much as we've done with imaginometry, but would we be giving them too many ideas?
Yeah, that's the danger.
I like the idea of the great circle, though. I mean, isn't that right? You get Brucey bonus angles just for being near a sphere. Within triangles, they sort of gain them, but like in order to differentiate a circle from just a regular circle, call it great.
It's like the name of a wrestler or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we had Hoymar, remember?
Yeah.
Brought that in, the great circle. We had fun with that.
Not Hoymar.
Yeah, Hoymar. Like, give it a bit of a jazzle, like sparkle it up a bit. I mean, you could have done better. The fantastic circle would have been even better, because it's a fantasy, isn't it?
Yeah, I even mentioned the Great Pumpkin from Charlie Brown way back in the day that I remember, and said you got to do something like that, you know, a nice animation, the Great Circle. Do an animation. They play it every Easter or something like that, you know. Get them to do that on a holiday, the Great Circle.
Well, it's a great circle because it's the biggest circle, right? In which case, it has 0.000. That's the special circle that has the smallest
Modified
value of pi, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great. You could do like an animated thing, kind of like Charlie Brown, but have it Blue Marble Science.
Yeah,
it'd be fantastic.
The science of the not that, where we change pi into not that. You know pi? Well, not that. It's different, but not the other way, unless you want to have a word with Bob. Doesn't ever go larger unless you get in a car journey with Bob, which I don't advise you to do. You go to some strange places mentally, I would imagine.
Maybe physically as well, so be careful.
Be careful who you jump into a car with, especially when they say they're going to take you shorter than a straight line. I can get you there quicker. It's quite a long way. Nah, not in this car. Oh. Well, have we had enough? Is there anybody else want to come in? Has anybody got any other stuff? Is there anything that we've missed? I think we might do the go over the video at the weekend. Now, if we do go over it, does everybody want us to broadcast it on YouTube live, or do you want us to put it out as a video? Do you want to? Yeah, I want to come in live. Okay, so we'll see if everybody's all right with that, going over the Oakley debate / not debate tactic thing. If we go over it this weekend, if we're allowed to, we're not members, so we might have to wait until it comes out of the, who knows.
Oh, is that the new one that Nathan's been whining on YouTube about how he got muted?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to go over that one.
Genius. You'll love it. Exposes loads of the little tricks that have been played within this whole thing. It should be good. Let's get a Buster song ready. Yeah, well, so we might come out at the weekend. Any requests? Is Rob still around? He normally does want to.
Insane.
Insane. Sure, I bet this one's Sean. I don't know which one it is. Here we go. Thanks for joining us. Free for All Friday. Thanks for joining us. Flat Earth Math. And telling us about some of the ridiculous flat earth mathematical things that you've been telling children. I suppose, teacher. I think that's shocking. Some of that stuff. Join us again Monday, but we'll probably be going live over the weekend if we can. Wrong insane. Here you go.
I'm fucking pissed. I mean, there isn't a fucking scale on this goddamn planet that can measure how fucking pissed I am right the fuck now. Hey, so yeah. I can't get any of these cowardly fucks to debate me. Unless someone can give me a good fucking reason to keep doing this, I'm fucking giving it up. I don't I got better things to do with my time. Nobody ever cites my work. My Angles to Polaris video. Nobody ever cites that. It's not the best one in the world, but you know, it's fucking something, you know, with a physical model. And it gets a lot of compliments. So I know it's not complete shit. Nobody ever plays my videos on their live streams. Or even little bits of it. When was the last time anybody shared any of my videos? You know, my most popular video is the Angles to Polaris video. And it has less than 1,000 fucking views, and it's 2 years old. And I've got a shit community. I've got a shit community fucking not doing anything to fucking keep me doing it. Like I said, unless someone can give me a good fucking reason why I should keep streaming, you know, I'm done. So, thanks for the fish. I'm so pissed off right now. I've got a shit community. Made me look like a fucking asshole. Motherfucker! Fucking asshole! Motherfucker! I'm so pissed off right now.
Your world is full of illusions, contradiction between fact and fiction.
Fucking talking shit!
You never back your claims.
Like a little cowardly bitch. Fucking talking shit!
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
Motherfucker!
Unstoppable force on immovable feet.
You don't know how fucking pissed I am.
Straight lines converge in the distance.
Fucking asshole!
Why do I get so much resistance? I know.
Fucking talking
You'll
shit!
never prove me wrong.
Right the fuck now! God damn it, fucker!
Now we get our physics deniers, pathologic compulsive liars. I know. You'll never prove me wrong.
You don't know how fucking pissed I am!
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez.
It's where knowledge and ignorance meet.
Fucking asshole! Motherfucker!
Paradoxes and confusion. Your mind is in delusion.
Fucking talking shit!
We all know you're insane.
God damn it! I can't get one of these pussies after fucking talking shit to this motherfucker. I fucking still like him, but he fucking pissed me off. Motherfucker! God damn, he owes me a fucking apology.
Talk about your 2D surface. We all know you ain't got no purpose in life. When you think that you live on board.
I get fucking emasculated.
Driving the wrong way down a one-way street.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez.
It's where knowledge and ignorance meet.
Fucking talking shit! Motherfucker!
Paradoxes and confusion. Your mind is in delusion.
Fucking talking shit!
We all know you're insane. We all know you're insane.
I get fucking emasculated by Jose J.G. Gonzalez. And I'm pretty fucking pissed off. That's all I've got to say about it. Motherfucker! Made me look like a fucking ass.